A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Kroger Tender Ray Beef, no other beef so fresh can be so tender, presents Hearts in Harmony, transcribed. During your visits to your neighborhood Kroger store, you found there's not much chance of getting Kroger Tender Ray Beef. No doubt you've stopped to chat with your Kroger meat man about the nationwide shortage of meat. Now, in spite of today's desperate meat shortage, Kroger is doing everything possible to get meat. As always, though, Kroger will buy only through legitimate channels at legal prices. But while beef and pork are difficult to get, you'll find an abundance of this exclusive Kroger feature at your Kroger store. The main dish guaranteed to delight your family. It's Kroger's Selected Seafood. Tender, firm-fleshed seafood that's rush-delivered to your Kroger store. And what a variety. There's saltwater and freshwater fish. Fish for baking, frying, and broiling. Once you try Kroger Selected Seafood, you'll agree that it's the finest flavored seafood in town. That rich, tangy flavor of the sea is yours because Kroger Selected Seafood is rush-delivered to your Kroger store. That means you can buy with confidence of getting seafood with that wonderfully delicious, fresh-caught flavor. So visit your Kroger store and treat your family to a delicious shore dinner of Kroger's Selected Seafood. And now, Hearts in Harmony. Thanks to Bill Carver's story that Freddie Lang did not try to rob the store on River Street, Freddie has been freed by the police, and Penny cleared of all charges of harboring Freddie from the law. Suzanne is now home with her newborn baby, and the next morning, Penny is busy being a helpful aunt when the doorbell rings.
Oh, there's the doorbell, Suzanne. Excuse me, I'll be right back.
All right, Penny. But please, darling, be careful going down those steps. They look very slippery when I came up them yesterday.
Now, listen, Suzanne. I'm the one who's supposed to do all the worrying around here.
Penny!
Penny,
are you all right?
Yes, I just stumbled. That's what I get for being too sure of myself. Oh, golly. Just a minute, I'm coming.
Good morning, Penny.
Oh, hello, Mother.
Am I allowed in?
Of course you are, darling.
Thanks. I wasn't sure.
Now, what in the world makes you say a thing like that?
Well, it's nice of you to pretend that you don't remember how badly I acted last time I was here.
Oh, forget it.
No, Penny, listen, I want to apologize.
Darling, you don't have to apologize to me for anything.
Oh, but I do. I wasn't only rude, but I think I was a little bit stupid to say the things I did.
You didn't say anything to me,
Well,
Mother.
then it was what I said to Professor Rogers.
Professor Rogers understood. He felt the same way about Freddie as you have. He thought I was silly to fall for all Freddie's lies and try to help him with his problems.
Oh, I think you were silly, Penny, at times, but that didn't give me a right to say the things I did.
Mother, please don't.
And I'm not saying all this now because that Carver person in the hospital proved that Freddie didn't rob that store. I still think the boy's bad for you, Penny. But I'm more than ready to admit I was wrong about him in many ways.
You just don't know him, Mother. You can't be expected to be right about him.
No, Penny, and that's just the point. I had no right passing such harsh judgment on him without knowing him a little better.
Well, you can get to know him a lot better if you want to.
Well, not just now, Penny, if you don't mind. I wouldn't want to make the same mistakes all over again.
No, darling. No, I really don't think we should rush you and Freddie together too quickly. We'll just let time take care of things, shall we?
All right, Penny, after I've first taken care of my apologies.
Darling, listen. If you think you owe me an apology, consider it accepted. What I want to know is, Are you and Jed speaking to each other again?
Oh, Penny, how can anyone be angry with Jed for very long?
Oh, then everything's all right between you two.
Of course it is. And I'm ashamed of myself for even quarreling with him, especially about that Lang boy.
Oh, Mother.
Oh, I'm sorry. I've just got to get it into my head, I guess, that Freddie is someone I just have to like.
Well, give yourself time, darling. When you really get to know him, you'll find out he's just an overgrown schoolboy who hasn't even been in class long enough to learn the difference between right and wrong. But I do think he is learning now.
Well, I hope you're right, Penny. But believe me, darling, just the thought of him scares me.
Well, in that case, try not to think about him. There are other things to think about, you know.
And how well I know it. I came over to see one of those things. May I go up and see her now?
Well, I don't know why not. She's in Suzanne's room. Go ahead up.
Oh, aren't you coming, darling?
No, I have to make the baby's formula for her. Suzanne isn't feeling too well.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh, it's nothing serious. Be careful of those steps, though, darling.
Oh, what's the matter with them?
Pat waxed them too well again. I nearly broke my neck coming down to answer the door.
Oh, they don't look too bad.
Mother? Mother, you all right? Are you hurt?
Well, I don't think I'm hurt, dear, but just a surprising thing.
You took an awful tumble. That stairway isn't exactly soft to me.
Oh, no, but neither am I. I think the steps suffered as much as I did.
Golly, I've got to tell Pat not to wax the steps so thoroughly that you can see her face in them.
Well, I certainly went down for a good close look then, didn't I?
You're sure you're all right?
Oh, perfectly. Now, you go on and make up the baby's formula. I'll go up and see Suzanne.
All right, be careful of the rest of the steps, though.
Don't worry. I'm not as young as I used to be. Can't stand more than one fall a day.
Tell Suzanne I'll be up in a minute.
All right, dear.
What happened out there?
Oh, clumsy me. I fell coming up the steps, Suzanne.
Oh, Mother, I hope you didn't hurt yourself.
Oh, I didn't hurt myself a bit. And I think you can call me grandmother from now on, can't you?
Oh, you may be a grandmother, but you know you'll never look like one.
Now, don't waste your flattery on me, Suzanne. I'm proud I'm a grandmother, especially of such an adorable granddaughter. Let me see her. Ah, the little darling's fast asleep, isn't she?
Yes. But in just a few minutes now, she'll be wide awake and screaming her head off. It will be her feeding time.
You wouldn't have her any other way, would you?
Oh, no, of course not.
Oh, look at her lying there. Isn't she precious? Have you and Pat decided on a name yet?
Well, Pat wants to call her Suzanne, though I can't imagine why.
Well, what do you want to call her, Suzanne?
I think I'd like to call her Valerie.
Valerie?
Yes.
Valerie Gibbs.
Of course, my chief worry with her name is, will she like it? Seems so unfair for her to be given a name that she might hate.
She might not like Valerie, you know.
Yes, it's possible. But I think it's a pretty name. And it seems to fit well with Gibbs.
Yes, it does. I think that... Oh, look, she's stirring. Oh, those little fists, look. Oh, look at her yawn.
Oh, just wait till she opens her eyes. When she yawns and her eyes are open, she's nothing but eyes and mouth with just a little patch of pudgy face in between.
Oh, she's the dearest thing I've ever seen. Valerie Gibbs. I like that name, Suzanne.
Is that the baby's name, Suzanne?
Oh,
Penny, come in. I'm sterilizing it bottles now. Everything will be ready at feeding time.
Good, thank you. Do you like the name Valerie, Penny?
Oh, yes, I think it's lovely. I didn't know you decided on a name, Suzanne. Well, we haven't yet, officially, that is. Your brother, Pat, would like to call her Suzanne, but I prefer Valerie. Valerie Gibbs, Oh, I like the sound of that. Mr. So-and-so, I'd like to meet my niece, Valerie. Valerie, this is Mr. So-and-so. Valerie's my favorite niece, Mr. So-and-so. I knew her when she was just a tiny baby. Oh, Penny, darling. I'm sorry.
Don't feel that way.
I'm being silly, I know. Look, maybe if I... the doorbell, excuse me.
Now be careful on those stairs, darling. You know what almost happened to me.
Don't worry.
And it almost happened to you, too, remember?
Oh, just a minute. I'm coming. I'm coming.
Good morning, Miss Gibbs.
Oh, hello, Professor Rogers.
Oh, perhaps I'm interrupting something. Would you rather I...
No, it's all right. Come right in.
Oh. Are you sure it's all right?
Yes, of course I am.
Well, all right, if you say so. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Something is the matter.
No, it's nothing serious. I guess I was just having one of those silly, feeling sorry for myself moments.
Oh, I see.
Mm-hmm. The baby's here. Would you like to see her?
Oh, well, no, thanks. Not this morning, if you don't mind. I don't have much appreciation for babies, I guess.
Maybe that's because you don't know any.
Well, yes, that might be it. Miss Gibbs, I hate to bring up the subject of Freddie when you're not feeling...
Freddie? What's the matter?
Well, nothing's the matter, I hope. But, well, the reason I dropped by is that I saw Freddie with that fellow Bill Carver.
Oh. Yes, I know Mr. Carver's out of the hospital, if that's what's worrying you. The doctors didn't want him to leave, but he insisted.
Well, no, it's not that. I heard Carver had left the hospital against doctor's orders. That's not what I want to tell you about.
Oh?
You see, well, according to the way I understand it, Freddie and this fellow Carver didn't know each other before the alleged robbery of the store on River Street.
That's what Mr. Carver said.
Well, Freddie and Carver were having quite a, what shall I call it, a talk on the corner a few blocks from here.
Well, why do you hesitate to call it a talk?
Because from what I saw, it looked more like an argument, a very heated argument.
An argument between Freddie and Mr. Carver?
Yes, and a serious one. Not the kind two almost strangers would become involved in.
Now, look, Professor Rogers, just what is it that you're driving at?
Well, Miss Gibbs, I don't like to alarm you.
No, go on.
And, well, I don't want to revive dead issues. You're probably well satisfied that your troubles with Freddie are over.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, I hope you're right.
Yes, you hope I'm right, but...
But seeing Freddie on the corner a few minutes ago, arguing bitterly with that fellow Carver, well, I suspect trouble all over again, Miss Gibbs. And real trouble this time.
So Freddie was on the corner having an argument with Bill Carver. What was it about? Was it about Penny? Is Carver threatening to go through with his promise to get revenge on Freddie by hurting Penny? Be sure to listen to the next dramatic episode of Hearts in Harmony. From coast to coast and border to border, there's a desperate shortage of meat. And that explains why there's not much chance of getting famous Kroger Tenderay beef. You can be sure, however, that Kroger is doing everything possible to get meat. As always, though, Kroger will buy only through legitimate channels at legal prices. Now, although there's a shortage of beef and pork, your Kroger store has a plentiful supply of deliciously tender Kroger-selected seafood. Yes, your Kroger store has the finest flavored seafood in town, and it's priced for real thrift. So visit your Kroger store and make your choice from the grand variety of Kroger's selected seafood. Now, your local announcer.
Countdown for blast off. X minus 5, 4, 3, 2, X minus 1, fire. From the far horizons of the unknown come transcribed tales of new dimensions in time and space. These are stories of the future, Adventures in which you'll live in a million could-be years on 1,000 maybe worlds. The National Broadcasting Company, in cooperation with Street and Smith, publishers of astounding science fiction, presents
X minus 1.
Tonight's story, Ray Bradbury's Dwellers in Silence. "20 years had passed. 20 years since the last of the giant migration ships had crashed to the surface of Mars, bearing its pitiful handful of survivors of the Earth Wars. 20 years of longing, of turning eyes toward the green Earth as it hung on the horizon like a beckoning light. And now it was done. And the first new ship, built of shining Martian chromaton, had lifted bravely toward home with 3 men locked in its metal belly.
There it is. You can barely see the top of the Atomic Trades building in the twilight. A never-finished building.
Captain.
What is it?
Am I going out of my mind? Look, out that way, to the west.
Could that be? Heaven, it is. Those are lights. Turn the ship. Full cruising speed.
They are lights. Captain, it's a city, a whole blasted city lit up like a Christmas tree. What do you think of your dead planet now, Williams?
Decelerate to -5. We're going to take her down.
Unbelievable. We've been walking for hours now and not a soul to be seen.
There must be someone. How do you explain the light?
Unless they've been burning like this for 20 years.
Impossible.
I don't know. Municipal building. Do we have a look here, sir? Possibly the records might contain some.
That's a good idea. Keep your weapons ready. We'll start right here with the city clerk's office. Better check radiation again, Doctor.
Well, not enough to do any damage.
Gives you the creeps, doesn't it? Look at this desk. Papers crumpled, inkstand, just as if somebody came in and worked here every day. Dog licenses, hunting permits.
That's strange. There's ink in that inkstand.
Well, what of it?
Well, you'd think standing open for 20 years it would have dried up. Good heavens.
If I hadn't heard it with my own ears. Evans, did that phone ring?
Yes. Well?
Pick it up, Doctor.
Hello?
Good day, Doctor. How are you? I called to ask some advice about a trepanning problem. Can you tell me if the lateral cut should be made first?
Hello. Hello. This is absolutely insane. Hello.
Thank you, Doctor. I'll do that. By the way, how is your wife, Alice? And the girls? And your son, John? Fine boy, John. I'll call again tomorrow. Goodbye, Doctor.
Hello. Hello. Gone dead.
Who was it?
I don't know. Strange voice carried on a conversation about some surgical operation without paying the slightest attention to anything I said. Captain.
What is it?
Listen. Someone is coming, walking slowly toward the corridor.
Coming closer.
Jumping Jupiter. It's a man. An old man.
Are you... Is it really someone? You seem to be real. I saw the ship come down, and I thought perhaps I was losing my mind. It's been so many years.
I'm Captain John Parsons. These are my assistants, Dr. Evans and Mr. Williams. We returned to Earth from Mars.
Then it's happened. We're not alone anymore. Forgive me, gentlemen, if I seem moved. I've waited and hoped for so long.
You survived the radiation.
We did.
There are others.
My family. We are the only ones.
I answered the phone a moment ago. Who was it?
You heard my voice, Doctor.
Yours?
Yes. To break the loneliness. I've recorded my voice and rigged up an automatic telephone. It's pleasant to hear the phone ring. I come here to work.
I take it you are a medical man.
My name is Cornelius Hathaway.
Hathaway? Hathaway, the brain surgeon?
You know my name?
Who doesn't? I watched you on television at college. Why, I saw you 23 years ago. You performed a difficult surgery for a cerebral tumor.
Thank you. I'd almost forgotten. My mind, you see, Well, I'm almost 80 now.
Well, you look fine, sir.
We've had the best of everything. An entire city to choose from. Cold storage, the best equipment. But come. There's a fine dinner waiting for you, and you want to meet my family. When I saw the ship come down, I told Alice, my wife, you know, to prepare a feast. This is a great day for me, gentlemen. A great day. Alice, come out to the porch and see who we have here. Alice, you here? Come out. My wife, gentlemen. Alice, Captain Parsons, Dr. Evans, Mr. Williams.
How do you do, Hathaway?
How do you do?
And now, if you will follow me in, gentlemen, we'll meet my children.
Lord, what a beautiful woman. She looks no more than 35. Do you suppose the radiation could have done that to her?
I don't know.
And these are my daughters, Susan and Marguerite, and my son, John.
How do you do? How do you do, sir?
Sit down, gentlemen, sit down. We'll have a feast in honor of this occasion. Susan, Marguerite, get the best silverware and the damask napkins. And John, fetch the champagne.
Yes, Father. Excuse me a moment, John.
Sir?
How old are you?
23, sir.
Thank you.
What is it, Captain? Something wrong?
Nothing. Except that it's impossible. You see, Dr. Hathaway's son was already in college when I started. That would make him at least 45. That was a wonderful meal, Mrs. Hathaway. Doctor, your wife is an exceptional woman.
Thank you, sir.
How would you gentlemen like some fresh gingerbread with your coffee? I've baked it this morning.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Smell that, Doctor?
It's like coming home, Mrs. Hathaway.
It's like home having you here.
Mrs. Hathaway, may I compliment you on having preserved your youth and beauty so well?
Thank you. We have no worries here. No competition. All the things we need for material comfort.
Parsons and I were wondering, Dr. Hathaway, if the radioactivity had any effect in preserving tissue. Your children all look so young, too.
It is possible, gentlemen, of course. Radiation does strange things to living tissue. Alice, could we have some champagne? Alice.
Oh, I'm sorry. What, John?
Some champagne, please.
Champagne? Oh, yes, of course.
An amazing woman. Did you ever see such grace, such complete relaxation?
It doesn't seem quite natural.
I beg your pardon, gentlemen?
Captain Parsons was just about to ask how you and your family managed to escape, Dr. Hathaway.
We were very fortunate. You see, my home was in the Sierra Mountains at the time. I had a lead-lined laboratory in the basement where I did X-ray research. My hobby, you know. I chose this house because it was on a hill where I could watch the sky. Oh, the loneliness of those first years.
But at least you had your wife and children.
Yes, I had my family. If it were not for them, gentlemen, I assure you I would long ago have put a bullet in my head.
Champagne, Captain?
Oh, thank you, Mrs. Hathaway. May I propose a toast?
Oh, let me. Gentlemen, to Earth.
To Earth?
Earth. May she never be stranger to man. And...
Hathaway, what is it? You all right?
It's nothing. It's nothing, really. Just a rather sharp pain in the chest. Why don't you gentlemen go out on the porch and enjoy the air? You've had a long and tiring journey. Alice, we'll show you the way.
Will you be all right, John?
Yes, don't trouble yourself. I'll see you all in the morning.
Good night, Doctor.
Good night. Come, John.
Yes, Father.
Well, what do you think of old Mother Earth now, Williams? Smell that summer breeze. Look at that view of the city lighted up against the sky.
It has a certain quality. Well, score 1 point for the back to Earth proponents.
I didn't say that.
You're beginning to feel it, though, Williams, I can tell.
If you don't mind, gentlemen, I'm quite tired. I think I'll turn in. Excuse me?
Well, Captain?
Well, what?
What do you make of all this?
I don't know what you mean.
This Hathaway and his family. There's something strange and unnatural going on here. I can sense it.
Oh, I think you're reading things into it, Doctor.
Perhaps. Well, I'll turn in, too. Coming?
In a moment. I want to smoke a cigarette.
It's a very beautiful view, is it not?
Oh, I didn't hear you come out. How is he?
Resting. I've never seen him this bad.
Yes, he's an old man. I'm sorry, but the difference in your ages is so apparent. You must have been married very young.
You don't know about us, then?
No.
Perhaps it is better that way.
I don't follow you. Is it something about your husband? He acts very strangely.
My husband is a very great man, Captain. It is too bad there was no one to appreciate him. Once he wired the whole city with sound speakers. And when he pressed a button, the whole town lit up and made noises as if 10,000 people were living in it.
He must have been very lonesome. Although, with a woman such as you, I don't understand.
Perhaps one day you will understand.
I hope you will come to trust me as a friend.
I can trust no one but him. Good night, Captain.
Good night, Mrs. Hathaway.
Captain.
Captain Parsons. What are you doing? Who's there?
Dr. Evans.
Oh, what's wrong? What time is it anyway?
2 a.m.
What's wrong?
I couldn't sleep. A few minutes ago, I heard someone slip out the front door. In the moonlight, I saw it was the old man. He was headed toward the ship.
What are you suggesting, Doctor?
Nothing, except that it's fairly unnatural for an old man with a bad heart to go wandering off at 2 in the morning.
Very well. We'll follow him. This is far enough.
What do you suppose he's doing? What are those on the ground?
Good Lord, those are grave markers. 4 of them.
You're right. He seems to be praying over them.
Listen.
Do you forgive me for what I had done? I had to do it. I was so lonely. So terribly lonely. You don't mind too much? You do forgive me, don't you? Yes. Yes, I feel you do. Well, I'm glad. I think perhaps I can rest now. I think
He's having another attack. Come on. Hathaway. Dr. Hathaway, can you hear me? Raise his head, Evans. Dr. Hathaway.
His lips are moving.
What is it, Doctor?
Closer. Lean closer. I'm sorry I had to spoil all of this. I've expected it for some time.
We'll fix you up.
No, I'm an excellent diagnostician. It really doesn't matter. Except for them.
What about them, Hathaway?
You suspected, didn't you?
Yes, I suspected. But I couldn't believe it until now. Do they know?
No, they wouldn't understand. I wouldn't want them to know. Ever.
Doctor?
He's dead, Captain. What was it he meant about your suspecting?
Light a match, Dr. Evans. Look on those 4 grave markers and tell me what you see.
Good heavens.
Well?
Alice Hathaway, Marguerite Hathaway, Susan Hathaway, John Hathaway. Died July 1987. But that's 20 years ago. It's impossible. If these markers are correct, then who are those others?
Can't you guess, Doctor? Can't you guess? I'm sorry, Mrs. Hathaway.
He didn't want us to feel badly. He told us it would happen one day and that he didn't want us to cry. He didn't teach us how, you know. He said it was the worst thing that could happen, to know how to be lonely and unhappy. We weren't to know what death is.
Perhaps it's just as well.
You know about us, don't you?
Yes, I know. I didn't think you knew yourself.
The children don't. I have been aware for a long while.
No one would have guessed. You're so perfect.
He would have liked to hear you say that. He was so very proud of us. After a while, he came to love us. And at the end, he took us as his real wife and children. He even forgot, sometimes, that he had made us.
You gave him a great deal of comfort.
Yes. Over the years, we sat and talked. He loved so much to talk. I was first, you know. Then he became lonesome for the children, and so he made them. There was only one thing. One flaw.
And that?
He couldn't make us grow old. And so he had to watch himself become an old, old man while we stayed young. It was a great blow to him.
We'll bury him on the hillside where the other 4 crosses are. I think he would like that.
Yes, he would.
Mrs. Hathaway, Alice, I think that you are a very great and wonderful woman. And so we commend the body of this man, John Hathaway, to his Maker. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust returneth. Amen.
Come, John.
Yes, Mother.
Susan, Marjorie.
Evans, Williams, stay here a moment, please.
What is it?
Let them go back to the house. I want to speak to you.
I know what you're going to tell us, Captain. I saw the names on the grave markers.
Well?
It's a mockery, a blasphemy of everything we believe in. For a man to do something so evil.
Can't you imagine what he faced? Can't you imagine what it must have been like to have watched his wife and children die slowly of radiation burns? To know that he was the last man on the face of the earth. Alone. Eternally and unalterably alone. Good Lord, man. What would you have done if you'd had his medical and technical genius? I'll tell you. You'd have come back to your laboratory just as he did and tried to recapture all the wonderful things that they had been to you. You'd use all the power of your memory, all the accuracy of your fingers, and you'd try to put together, bit by bit, all those things that were wife, son, and daughter.
It's incredible. So you suggest that we take them back, Captain?
I don't know. We haven't enough space in the ship for that. Every ounce counts. Still, to leave them here like that, alone...
I think I have an answer, cold-blooded as it may seem.
Go on.
I suggest that we turn them off.
Do you think I could do that?
No, but I think I could. After all, they aren't human. They're worse than robots. They're ghoulish. I suggest you go back to the ship, Captain, and leave me to deal with them.
I will not permit it.
You've no choice in the matter. I assure you it'll be quick and entirely painless.
I hate to admit it, but he's right, Captain. We can't take them with us, and it would be less than human to leave them here without Hathaway. They were created by him for himself. They have no other feelings, no other purpose. If you leave them, they'll go on year after year, night after night, talking, laughing, baking strawberry biscuits for no reason, not knowing who they are, why they exist.
Could you do it, Doctor?
I don't know.
I've already offered to do it.
No, I wouldn't want it to be you, Williams. You're sick. You have no feelings. If Dr. Evans here can do it, well, so be it.
It's a difficult thing, Captain.
Still, as you say, they aren't human. Logic is on your side. It isn't as if you were murdering someone. Well,
give me the blast gun, Williams.
We'll wait in the ship. Take off in half an hour.
Half an hour.
$6:25. He should be back soon.
Yes.
He's doing the only humane thing, Captain. They're less than human.
Are they?
Well, it's done now. No one will ever... That's the airlock. He's back.
Well, here's your gun.
Did you do it?
When I entered the house, one of the daughters looked up at me, and she smiled. The others smiled. He taught them that, taught them to make him feel welcome when he came home at night. I knew that, and yet, well, I should have done it then. I might have, but she came in. The wife. She said something about sitting down for a cup of tea. She looked at me with those fine, intelligent eyes. I couldn't do it. It would be murder. Cold-blooded murder.
I prayed you wouldn't be able to do it. There will never be anything as fine as they are, you know. Built to last 100, 200, perhaps 1,000 years. Well, get the course in the integrator, Williams. We'll take off in 20 minutes. I should be back by then.
You're going out, sir?
I'm going to say goodbye.
You've come back.
Only to say goodbye.
It was nice of you.
I wanted you to know that I'm coming back.
Here? To us?
Here. To you.
I believe you.
I never meant anything more.
When will you come?
I don't know. It'll take many years to prepare fuel for another trip. 6, 7, perhaps 10 years.
I will watch the sky at night, just as he watched it.
I'm not a young man.
Time is nothing to me. I was born out of time.
I'm afraid I must go now.
I understand. Strange. I have a new feeling. One which he didn't teach us. A feeling of longing, of sadness.
That one is not taught. It comes of being alive.
Yes, I am alive. Even though he created me, I'm a person now.
Goodbye, Alice Hathaway.
Goodbye, John Parsons.
You have just heard X-1, presented by the National Broadcasting Company in cooperation with Street and Smith, publishers of astounding science fiction. Tonight, by transcription, X-1 has brought you Dwellers in Silence, written by Ray Bradbury and adapted for radio by George Lefferts. Featured in the cast were Anne Seymour, Carl Weber, Theodore Osborne, Richard Hamilton, Edwin Jerome, and Stan Early. Your announcer, Fred Collins. X-1 was directed by Daniel Sutter and is an NBC Radio Network production. Don't forget, next week, X-1 will be heard on Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Countdown for blast off. X-5, 4, 3, 2, X-1, fire. From the far horizons of the unknown come transcribed tales of new dimensions in time and space. These are stories of the future, adventures in which you'll live in 1,000,000 could-be years on 1,000 maybe worlds. The National Broadcasting Company, in cooperation with Street and Smith, publishers of astounding science fiction, presents X-1. Tonight's story, The Outer Limit, by Graham Dorr. We go ahead now in time to 1965. We're on a vast concrete runway set in the desert of the Southwest. A giant metal ship stands before us, prow pointed for the stars. And in 5 minutes, the signal will flash and it will tear up through the atmosphere to the outer limit.
Attention! Attention! Clear field for takeoff! Clear field!
5 minutes, Steve.
Right. Warm her up, Charlie.
Turn her over!
I want to go over procedure again, Steve.
Don't worry, I got it straight.
We'll just make sure.
Okay, I take her up on jets to 50,000, then I cut in the rocket.
No lower, or your tail blast will burn out 3 counties.
I climb 4 minutes on rockets, then start maneuver tests.
Remember that, no more than 4 minutes. This ship isn't like those strato rockets that you've been testing. She's the first one built for outer space. If she works, you can go clear to the moon.
If I'd have known, I'd have brought my toothbrush.
Not this trip. Now, get this, Steve. You've got power there to clear the Earth's gravitational field, but remember, after you cut in the rockets, you've only got 10 minutes fuel. If you go beyond the outer limit and don't save fuel for the return, you won't get down again, ever. You'll drift out into space. Get that now. 10 minutes fuel.
Okay.
As far as I'm concerned, this project is a lot more important than that cosmic ray bomb that they're testing out in the Pacific tonight.
Well, the Security Commission brass doesn't think so. I don't see any undersecretaries under anything.
Don't you worry, Steve. In the long run, our ship will make the CR bomb back-page stuff. But in the meantime, it's just as dangerous. Now, remember, half the principles in this ship are pure theory, slide rule stuff. If anything goes wrong, we may have to scrape you off the landscape with a soup spoon.
You have a charming sense of humor.
Here's what I'm getting at, Steve. We're risking your neck in this test. Anything blows, we don't want to have the next man pull the same boner. So keep your mic open. Keep talking. If anything goes wrong, we want to know exactly why. And we won't be able to ask you. Let us know before you pull every switch. Before you do anything. Got that? Even if you only have to blow your nose.
All right, get those fuel lights away.
Well, I guess that's about all, Steve.
Hey, that reminds me. If Mary calls, I'm just up on a milk run. I didn't tell her today was it.
How is Mary?
She's okay, but she's due about now, and I don't want her to get nervous.
Hey, I didn't know the baby was that close. Steve, you know, I really ought to be sending a single man on this job.
What, and cut me out of a soft paycheck? Forget it, Hank. You know you can't get anybody else who can take 15 G's acceleration when those rockets cut in.
Yeah, I know. It's time, Steve.
Yeah. I'll see you later. Don't worry, Hank. I'll sweat for both of us. Button her up, Charlie. So long, Hank.
So long. We'll give you the light from control.
X2 JTR to control. Are you there yet, Hank?
Okay, Steve. I'm ready to go.
Mr. Hanson.
Ready on radar, Sergeant?
Check.
Mr. Hanson, you better see this.
What is it, Elsie?
Message sent up for Steve. Mrs. Weston just left for the hospital.
What? Hello, Steve.
Yeah.
Stand by a minute.
Shall I hold it up, Mr. Hanson?
Yes. No, wait just a minute. It's too late now.
You going to tell her?
Maybe he's got enough to worry about.
Hey, what's holding us up, Hank? Something on your mind?
No, there's nothing, Steve. I just wanted to say good luck. All right, Charlie. Give him the light. All right, Steve, I'm reading you clear.
I'm at 20,000. Airspeed 600. It's running fine. Soundproofing works. There's a 3-degree waiver in the AGY pressure.
Got that, Charlie?
Check. Dead center on radar, Mr. Hanson.
50,000 now. I'm cutting loose the port jet. Now the starboard. I'm off jets. Airspeed dropping. Now I'm opening the rocket ports. The switch sticks a little, Charlie. Oxy-alcohol pressure 350. All right, now I'm advancing the ignition key. Here goes rocket 1.
Steve, you all right?
Yeah. Feels like somebody slugged me with a sledgehammer. Airspeed now 1,200. Here goes number 2. She's okay, Hank. Running like a Swiss watch. She's okay.
Hello, Steve. Your last rocket's time is now 4 minutes. What's your altitude? Over to you.
Speed 4,400, still climbing. Altitude
297 miles.
All right, you're at the outer limit. Level off for maneuver tests. You've got exactly 6 minutes fuel left.
I'm starting a 3-degree left bank. She's a little sluggish. There, it's all right. There's a low vibration somewhere. Maybe the cockpit cover. My view screen's a little fogged. Now I'm straightening out.
5 minutes fuel left.
Now I'm starting a 3-degree right. Hey, the bullet.
What's the matter? What's wrong?
There's something up here. Something shining.
What are you talking about?
There's something above me, Hank. I'm going to chase it.
Steve, you're at the outer limit now.
I can see it plain now.
Now, Steve, don't go any higher. You've only got 4 minutes left. You've only got...
I'm getting static. I can't hear you, Hank. It's dead ahead now. I'm going to make a pass at it and get a good look. Here goes. Hey, it's swerving to meet me. It's dead ahead now. Look out, it's dead ahead.
Hello, Steve. Steve, come in.
9 minutes fuel gone.
There's still no sign.
Hello, Steve. What happened? Charlie, get the crash squad out. Tell the Army squadron to alert their search plane.
Right.
9.5 minutes gone.
Hello, Steve. Steve, listen to me. What's happened? Where the devil is he? Hello. Come in, Steve. Steve, come in. Hello, Steve. Hello, Steve.
10 minutes.
Steve.
That's the end of the fuel.
How long has it been now?
10 hours, Mr. Hanson.
Nothing more on radar, Sergeant?
The screen's blank.
Colonel Carulli called in. The search planes are back. Couldn't find anything.
Should be some trace.
He couldn't have bailed out, could he?
You don't hit the silk at 4,400 miles an hour. We either went past the outer limit and ran out of fuel, or something blew, and we'll find the pieces scattered from here to the coast. Why does it have to be the best man? Always the best man. Charlie, we got to figure out what was wrong.
Right.
Something must have blown.
Goodbye. Mr. Hanson, there's a message from Northside Hospital for Steve.
Well, what is it?
Mrs. Weston is fine. It's a boy.
Oh, thank you, Elsie. It's a boy, Charlie.
Yeah.
Fine. It's a boy. We didn't even know that she went to the hospital. How am I going to tell Mary that?
No, it wasn't your fault, Mr. Hanson. The ship was tested.
Yeah, we'll build another, and some other flying fool will shoot past the outer limit into space. Well, I'm getting old, Charlie. You can remember when I used to take them up myself. Now I've got to send other men.
Look, it's a job, Mr. Hanson.
Now I'm afraid. Every time I hear a jet go off, I jump. Every time I have to send somebody up in a new model, I start to sweat.
Mr. Hanson.
Yeah?
I think I've got something on the radar.
No flights scheduled in, are there, Elsie?
No, the whole day's cleared.
He's coming in behind us. Here he comes over the building.
Yeah. What crazy jockey is buzzing the field like that? Is that an Army plane, Charlie?
No, I can't see. Here he comes back again. I know that engine. Yes, it's Steve.
That's impossible.
Look, that's his ship.
It can't be.
He's circling back for landing.
Charlie, clear the field.
He's coming back in. Mr. Hanson, there's not another ship in the world that looks like that. I tell you, it's got to be Steve.
Thank God. All right, sit down over there, Steve. Quicker we get this done, the quicker you get over to see Mary and the baby. Elsie, give the order to check and refuel the rockets. I don't want anybody in here till I get Steve's reports. Bury any calls. All right, Steve, let's have it. What the devil happened to you?
Hank, that cosmic ray bomb. Does it still go off tonight?
What are you talking about? Straighten out, Steve. Where have you been for the last 10 hours?
Listen, Hank, there's something more important.
Now, come on. I've got to get a report on the screen to Washington, so let's have it, will you? I've got to know how you stretched 10 minutes fuel to keep you in the air for 10 hours.
One thing before
now,
I talk.
Look, Steve.
Will you have the Geiger men run over the ship before they refuel?
What did you run into?
So help me, Hank, I don't know. We better check and make sure it isn't radioactive.
Elsie, add a Geiger report on the standard check. Steve, maybe we better have the medics look you over, too.
No, I'm all right. They said I'd be all right.
They? Look, son, I know you've had a tough time, but we've had this field on the alert for 10 hours, boy. One of the Army boys cracked up looking for you, and he's hurt bad. So let's have the story. Let's have it straight.
I don't know how to tell you, Hank. Hank, I saw something up there.
At 300 miles?
I chased something up there, Hank, and I caught it.
Now, don't hand me that,
Listen,
Steve.
Listen! I was cruising along, just starting the right bank, when I spotted something. Must have been going about half my speed. It was egg-shaped and smooth. I made a pass at it, and I came back for another, and then there was a humming sound.
Humming?
Sort of a vibration. And then I blacked out. I was headed straight for it at 4,400 miles an hour. I thought it was going to be the biggest smash since Hiroshima. And... Listen, Hank, is there a drink in that bottle?
Yeah, sure. Well? What happened?
Hank, I came to inside their ship.
Steve, this whole thing has been a devil of a strain on you. I'm going to call Major Donaldson from the Army base, ask him to sit in.
The psychiatrist? Yeah, that's a good idea. Let him run his tests. He'll tell you I'm not kidding. Because, Hank, unless I miss my guess, I've just been tipped off to the way the world ends.
You should be getting drowsy now. Count backwards from 10.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 6.
He's under. Now we attach the head plate electrodes and the cortical pickup. Look up for that wire, Mr. Hanson. 3.0 setting and 31.3. Now, throw that switch, Mr. Hanson. I have to start him off by suggestion. All right, Steve. You're in your ship now. You're in the rocket.
Rocket?
You're in the rocket. You're in the rocket, and you've just sighted something strange.
Now I'm starting at 3 degree right.
What's that?
Hey, there's something up there. Something shining.
His memory pattern. We're picking it up electronically.
Something above me, Hank. I'm going to chase it.
Right through the audio circuits.
Getting static. I can't hear you, Hank.
This is where we lost contact with him.
I'm going to make a pass at it. Hey, it's swerving to meet me. It's dead ahead now. Look out. It's dead ahead.
Now what?
This is where he blacked out. No telling how long. Minutes or hours.
What's that noise?
I don't know.
Where? How did I get here? What? Who are you?
Is he seeing things?
Galactic Patrol. What's that?
What are they saying, Steve? What are they saying?
It's about nuclear fission. They know about it. They know the danger of it. Long ago, they had wars that almost destroyed them. But finally, they learned. Now they've outlawed war.
Go on, Steve.
They patrol space. When their detector picks up an atomic explosion, they send a patrol. They've been observing Earth, and they found wars and rumors of wars.
What are they going to do?
They've quarantined us.
Quarantined?
They've isolated all Earth because we're infected with a communicable disease. Because we don't know how to control ourselves yet. Until we learn, we'll be a menace to the whole universe.
What is this nonsense?
Quiet. How are they going to do it, Steve?
Well, they've spread out a layer here of I don't know what to call it. It's all around the Earth. It's miles deep. And when there's an atomic explosion on Earth, the radioactive particles will drift up to this layer and set off a chain reaction that'll go around the world in microseconds. And that's the end. Yes? Yes, I understand. I've got to bring back the warning. You're going to put me back in my ship to bring the warning.
Now what?
Blacked out again. I guess that's all.
What does all that mean?
It's what he remembers.
You don't think that really happened?
No. Narco-psychometry circuits produce what he remembers. Just means that Steve believes this happened.
I don't like to see this. I've seen too many top pilots snap. Steve is the best I've known. How bad do you think he is?
Well, frankly, outside of the presence of this well-organized hallucination, there are no signs of unbalance. May not be too serious. If you had a more plausible story, I'd be inclined to believe it.
Warning. Hank.
It's all right, boy.
Did you hear it, Hank? Do you understand?
Oh, sure. We've been quarantined.
Now, let me give you something to make you sleep, Steve.
But don't you understand? They fixed it so that if we set off one more nuclear explosion, we will have had it.
Of course. Now, don't roll your sleeve down.
You don't believe me?
Now, take it easy, Steve.
But the tests are setting off the cosmic ray bomb, Hank, tonight. What time is it?
11:20.
It's scheduled for midnight. Hank, we've got to stop that bomb.
Let Donaldson give you the hypos.
You got to believe me. I saw them. I got the warning. If we touch off the Q-bomb tonight, we'll be the biggest galactic 4th of July of all time. The whole Earth will go up like a Roman candle. April 10th, 1965, the end.
Look, Steve, you better calm down now. Don't you want to see Mary and the baby? You've got a new son, remember?
That's just it. I want to see my son. I want him to live. If the bomb goes off, Hank, we've got to stop it.
Mr. Hanson, I think we'd better get over to the base hospital.
Hank, you got to believe me.
Sure, Steve. Maybe there's something to it. Look, it's out of our hands now, Steve. I'll put it in a report, shove it into Washington in the morning.
In the morning? There won't be any morning, Hank. You've got to call Washington now. Get the head of the Security Commission and postpone the test.
Now, you know I can't do that. My neck would be out a mile. Besides, this is 1965, not 45. 20 countries have the atomic bomb now. What's the use of stopping just this one? The rest will keep right on popping them off.
We'll have to call an international conference. Can't you understand, Hank? The first one that goes off finishes us. It's the end. They've given us a quarantine warning.
Steve, I think you'd better go with us to the base hospital.
Look, Steve, we can call up for a detail if we have to.
All right, I'll go with you. You don't need a straitjacket.
That's the way, Steve. You'll probably feel better by morning. Let's go.
Tomorrow I'll drive you over to the hospital to see Mary and the kid.
Yeah, sure.
Look at the ship under the floodlights. Pretty, huh? You'll be flying her again soon, Steve. Don't worry.
Yeah, I guess so. What's she doing out on the line? They refuel her?
Yeah, we got Clausewitz coming in tomorrow from Denver for another test. Figured we'd give you a day off.
Yeah, that's good. That's fine.
Steve!
Hey, go!
Come on, Donaldson! Steve! Steve, come back here!
He's heading for the rocket!
That's crazy! Steve! Get down off of there, Steve! We can't get at him now. That hood is armor glass.
He's waving.
Hood's control. The radio. Come on!
I should have gotten help.
Come on. The radio's still hooked up. Hello, Steve.
Listen to me, Hank. You got to call Washington now.
Look, Steve, come out of the rocket.
I'll call my men, Henson.
Don't try anything, Hank. They refueled the rocket for tomorrow.
Take it easy, Steve.
Listen, you know what'll happen if I fire the rocket tubes down here?
Steve, don't, please.
And burn out every building for 5 miles. All of us in one big blast.
What do you want, Steve?
You got to stop that bomb. You got to call Washington now.
They won't believe me.
You make that call or I cut in the rocket. I mean it, Hank. You hook my screen to yours in parallel. I want to see exactly what you're doing.
All right. Just don't fire those rockets.
Get going, Hank. You got 12 minutes to make that call and stop the bomb.
All right. I'm making the parallel hookup now. Donaldson, you think he'll really blast?
I don't know. Up to now, I'd almost say it was normal, but this Hanson, he's liable to do anything.
Steve, there, you getting it on your screen?
Yeah. Now put that call through.
All right.
Operator,
Visit screen to Washington.
the visit screen circuits are busy, sir. If you try again in half an hour.
This is a Security Commission priority. Break in. Get me a line.
Just a moment, please.
10 minutes, Hank.
Listen, Steve, I'm trying.
Ready to take your call, sir.
Washington Security Commission 3. Urgent. I want Undersecretary Herbert Ames.
Washington 3. 1 moment, please.
Hurry, will you please?
1 moment, please. Chicago. San Marco calling Washington visit screen 3. Urgent.
Washington 3. 1 moment, please.
What time is it, Donaldson?
11:51.
Do you think he'll fire those rockets?
He might.
Washington.
Go ahead, San Marco.
Visit screen 3. Mr. Herbert Ames.
That is a coded exchange. I cannot accept your call without clearance.
Listen, Washington, put this through. This is Mr. Hanson of Hanson Rockets Incorporated at San Marco Air Base. This is a priority call. I'm coded.
1 moment, please. I will check your code number.
Get it through, Hank. That bomb goes off at 12.
Will you be reasonable, Steve?
Your call has cleared, San Marco. Washington
call, sir.
Security Commission, Ames. Oh, hello, Hanson.
Listen, Ames. You've got to get me the chief.
You kidding? He's at the test control room.
Yes, I know, but get him for me.
Hey, what's up? You look lousy. Or is it a bad circuit?
There's no time, Ames. I've got to get him before the test. It's about the ray bomb.
I can't take the responsibility.
Get it through, Hank, or I blast.
Hey, what's going on there?
Ames, my project has a high enough rating. This is a priority A call.
What? Well, it's your neck. Okay, I'll try to get him for you. He's in the control room, though. You'll have to switch off your screen and speaker and go on earphones. Too much going on in there. Security, you know.
You hear that, Steve? I've got to cut the screen.
All right. 8 minutes, Hank.
Hello? Hello? Yes, sir. This is Hanson at San Marco. No, sir. Priority A request to cancel the bomb test. No, look, I'm serious. I'm deadly serious. We sent the X-2JTR up today to the outer limit, and we uncovered evidence. Yes, on the automatic instruments. What's that? No, this is possible chain reaction. No, I can't tell you the whole story. There isn't time. Yes, I'll bring the readings into Washington in the morning. You've got to postpone the test till you see them. Yes, I understand that. I understand about the press. I'll take complete responsibility for this. What's that? Look, I've worked on contracts for the Commission for 10 years now. Yes, I have complete confidence in my information. You can record that. All right. I'll call you back immediately. Goodbye.
Hank?
He's agreed to cancel. The ray bomb won't go off.
Thank God.
All right, Steve. You can come down out of the ship.
Here he comes. He's opening up.
All right, Steve. Come on down out of the ship.
Sure, Hank. Hank, I was scared. I was plain scared.
All right, easy now. It's all over. Bomb won't go off.
Thank God. Hey, look. I want to see Mary and the baby. Can you get me transportation now?
Hey, wait a minute. It's almost 12. They won't let you in the hospital now.
I want to see the baby.
For sure you do, but you've been under strain. I've got a shot here for you, Steve. Give you a good night's sleep. All right. Roll up your sleeve.
Sure.
Now, that'll make you sleep. Sergeant will find you a bed.
Come on, Mr. Weston. Well, good night, Hank. I am kind of beat. It's been a tough night.
Sure has. Thought for a minute he was going to blast those rockets and send us all to Kingdom Come.
Yeah.
Quite a stunt getting the ray bomb test called off.
It isn't called off.
But the call.
Ames couldn't get the chief. I was talking to a blank screen. Bomb goes off in a couple of minutes.
Oh. Poor Steve. He's one of the best.
He was the best. 1 in 10 million.
Some story of his, poor guy. For a while, he almost had me believing that quarantine. That's a very common delusion. The end of the world.
Last night, never saw the stars so bright.
Better be getting in. That wind is cold.
Bomb goes off in 30 seconds. Poor Steve.
You know, Hanson, there's just one thing.
Yeah?
It's outside my field, but I'm curious. How did he keep that ship in the air for 10 hours with only 10 minutes fuel?
You have just heard X-1, presented by the National Broadcasting Company in cooperation with Street and Smith, publishers of astounding science fiction. Tonight, by transcription, X-1 has brought you The Outer Limit by Graham Dorr, as adapted for radio by Ernest Kenoy. Featured in the cast were Joseph Julian, Wendell Holmes, Joe DeSantis, Bob Hastings, James Dukas, and Freddie Chandler. Your announcer, Fred Collins. X-1 was directed by Daniel Sutter and is an NBC Radio Network production.
You don't have to stop whatever you're doing to listen to your radio. Though you may have a lot to do whatever you've got to do. NBC will still get through with music and drama, a life panorama. NBC's always got something brewing. Listen and you'll agree that there's always a smile from a twist of the dial to radio NBC.
The magic island of Euclidia is no longer visible. At the location of the island, the waters of the South Pacific Ocean are rolling gently. And on the surface floats the rocket plane, which Captain Bradford and Elaine have landed near the upper escape lock of the underwater city of Euclidia.
The time is going to pass very slowly for the captain and the Euclidean girl commander who is now helping him. They will have to wait for days until the Gregory boat arrives, and the Euclideans are captured. Back on the Gregory boat, Mrs. Gregory, Jerry, and Joan are wondering and worrying about the two who have gone ahead. In the radio cabin of the boat, Jerry and Joan are doing their worrying out loud.
All right, Joan, all right. You're sure, and I'm sure. So let's forget it.
But, Jerry, we are sure of two different things.
Yes, but we don't get any place by arguing. You think you're right, and I know I'm right. So what?
Regardless of who is right, I am very worried about the captain and Elaine.
Oh, so am I. But Tex never got into anything he couldn't get out of.
They must be nearly out of fuel, Jerry. Elaine said when they took off that they had barely enough of the fuel gas to take them to Euclidia.
Well, what of it? They're not trying to go anyplace else. What do they need fuel for?
If the Euclideans are able to escape from the underwater city and attack the captain, he will need fuel badly.
Oh, I know it. That radio message from Tex sounded like a bluff to me.
A bluff?
Yeah, you know, trying to make somebody believe you can do something you're not very sure of.
I think you are right. The captain was, as you say, bluffing.
Yeah, you bet he was. That gag about capturing G-47 and his men on that raft wasn't very good.
What do you think he was actually trying to do?
Oh, probably scare them back into their hole so they would stay put until we get there.
The captain was very sure that his universal solvent would effectively prevent the escape of the Euclideans.
Well, I guess it would, if he had a chance to get it planted before any of them escaped.
And if he did not?
Well, then we're going to find Tex and Elaine prisoners when we get there. And the rest of us will probably end up the same way.
But that would be terrible, Jerry.
Oh, don't tell me.
We would not be treated so kindly this time. G-47 would have the captain's solvent, and he could easily work out the formula. Then there would be no further need for him to show us any consideration.
Well, all right. Golly, I know all that as well as you do. But when you're sure of bad news, why rub it in?
I am not rubbing anything.
Oh, I didn't say you were.
I see you two are just as friendly as ever.
Mother.
Hello, Mrs. Gregory. Oh, we're not fighting, just arguing.
No more news from Tex?
No, Mother. The radio has been silent.
Well, I hope no news is good news.
Oh, sure it is. The captain and Elaine know how to take care of themselves.
Yes, they would if they had a chance. But what are the odds against them down there?
I think their position is not pleasant.
There you go again. Why don't you try to be cheerful once in a while?
Jerry, you were the one who suggested that the captain's radio message was a bluff.
What? Well, you see, Mrs. Gregory, I've got an idea that Tex sent us that message just to scare the Euclideans, if they were listening in. I don't think he had a chance to really capture them.
I thought that, Jerry. The message didn't ring true.
We can do very little to help them, and this boat is so slow.
Everything seems too slow when you're trying to cope with those Euclideans.
But this was the fastest boat I could get, which was large enough to hold the 200 or 300 people we may have to bring back with us.
Yeah, they don't keep us there with them.
Oh, yes, Skipper?
Jerry.
What, me?
Aye.
What for?
Something wrong, Skipper?
No.
Oh, okay, Skipper. I'll be back pretty soon, Mrs. Gregory.
Very well, Jerry.
What's up, Skipper? Okay.
Well, I wonder if anything has happened.
I think not, Mother. Just some little task the skipper has for Jerry.
What were you and Jerry discussing?
We were speaking of the probable conditions at Euclidia.
And neither of you looked very happy when I came in. You think they're in danger?
I did not say that, Mother.
No. None of us dare to say it. But everyone is thinking it.
There is nothing we can do about it.
That's what worries me. If there were only a few moves we could make, anything to occupy our minds, to give us something to do.
No, Mother, you cannot help by worrying.
Oh, I know that. But it doesn't keep me from worrying.
Bradford to Gregory.
But don't you do not see that it's...
Wait, Joan, I think I hear the radio.
Can you hear me?
It's Tex. Hello, Tex. Pat calling. Hello, Tex.
Hello, Pat. How's everybody?
Oh, we're all right, just plowing along.
Everything running on schedule?
McLeod says we're doing a little better than schedule.
Fine. Keep it up and don't worry about us.
What have you been able to do?
We're riding easily on the water, just above the airlock.
No trouble?
Not a bit.
How are your provisions and fuel?
More than enough to last until you arrive.
Have you any special instructions for
Not
us?
at the moment, but keep the radio open on this wavelength and have someone with it at all times.
We would have done that. Are you sure that no one escaped before you got there?
No chance. The submarine locks are still magnetized shut, and we're watching the airlock in the surface chamber.
Is Elaine sure that there is no other means of escape from the island?
Positive. Don't worry about anything. Just keep coming our way, and we'll be waiting for you.
Thanks, Tex. You've been so wonderful through all this, and it's my fault we ever started it.
Think nothing of it. Well, I'd better save our batteries. Good luck, all. See you later.
Goodbye, Tex, and good luck to you both.
It would seem they are doing well, Mother.
Yes, and I suppose it's true. But I'm afraid I won't rest much until we reach there.
This is only our first night on the water. You must not worry at this early date.
Mrs. Gregory.
Yes, Mac, what is it?
May I have a word with you?
Why, of course you may. Come in.
Thank you.
Come right over here and sit down. I'd like to stay near the radio as much as possible.
How do you do, Miss Joan?
You are wearing a very sad expression, Mr. McLeod.
Sorry, I am for that. But the truth of the matter is that I have something which is not resting easy on my mind.
Trouble, McLeod?
It may be, and then again, it may not be.
Well, what is it?
How important is it that we keep up the speed we're now making?
Well, it may mean everything, Mac. The captain and Elaine are drifting practically helpless on the water down there, and they'll never be really safe until we arrive.
Then it would seem that we must keep it up.
Yes. But why not?
Well, to tell you the truth, Mrs. Gregory, the motors are acting none too good.
The motors?
Aye.
The motors of this boat are defective?
I wouldn't say that they were defective, but they are being badly overworked, and I'm none too sure how much of it they'll stand.
But speed means everything, Mac. We're doing far too slowly as it is.
I won't argue about that, but the boat was designed to make 16 knots, and she's now making 21.
16 knots? 5 knots less?
Aye.
Well, it's out of the question, Mac. Tex and Elaine figured that with good luck they'd be able to hold out for 6 days, possibly a few hours more than that. But to reduce our speed 5 knots would mean adding at least 2 full days to our run.
Aye, it would that.
We haven't any such margin as that. Keep the motors wide open and take a chance.
We'll be no good to the captain if we break down short of our goal.
We'll be no more good to him if we're too late getting there.
Right you are, and I'm glad to hear you want it that way. I would have said as much myself had I been in charge.
You are in charge of those engines, Mac. And your job is to get us just as far as you can, as fast as you can. I'll be responsible beyond that.
Good for you. Well, I'll get on back to the engine room and keep me eye on those motors.
Is Jerry in the engine room?
Aye. We sent for the lad to tell him what was happening, so he would help you make up your mind.
Well, I don't need any help. But I would like to know what Jerry's opinion was.
Well, he said to run this thing until the motors fell out of it, and then we'd row it the rest of the way.
Oh, good for Jerry. Oh, Mac.
Aye.
We just talked to the captain on the radio.
And what's the news?
None. They arrived safely, and now all they can do is just lie there and wait for us.
But they did arrive there. I'll get on back, and I'll send Jerry in here if you want him.
I wish you would.
That I will. And then I'll get all my time to keeping this coffee grinder turning over.
Well, Joan, that isn't so good, is it?
I would not think too much of that, Mother. Mr. McLeod is an engineer. He is a lover of fine machinery, and he would be inclined to exaggerate the condition of the motors.
I hope so. But whether that's the case or not, we'll keep up every bit of speed we can make from now on.
And now I think you should have some rest.
I know I should. And I'm going to be sensible and try to get some as soon as Jerry comes back.
And Jerry and I will remain with the radio.
No, dear. You'll come and rest with me. Jerry won't mind standing by the radio alone.
But, Mother, I do like to be near Jerry. He talks so much and says so little that it is very restful.
Possibly. But even so, I want you to come into our cabin and lie down.
Hey, was McLeod just in here?
Yes, Jerry. He came to see Mother about the engines.
What did he tell you, Mrs. Gregory?
He seemed to be worried as to how well the motors would stand our present speed.
Yeah, well, that's what he told me, too. But he's worrying too much about nothing.
Are you sure?
Well, sure, I'm sure. The old skipper was an engineer for a long time, and he said those motors would stand running at full speed as long as we wanted to run them.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. Now, Jerry, if you'll take over the radio, Joan and I'll try to get a little sleep.
Oh, sure, Mrs. Gregory. I'll take over.
Joan and I'll relieve you on the morning watch.
But, gee, you don't need to get up then. Well, I can put one of the crew in here when I get sleepy.
No, Jerry. I prefer that we three handle all messages from text. Johnson would do, of course, but I've asked him to spend all his time in the pilot house.
That is advisable. When we are trying to maintain top speed through all conditions, a great deal depends on our navigator.
Johnson's plenty good.
He certainly is. Now, Jerry, if
well,
you'll
Mrs. Gregory, can I have Joan stay here with me for just a few minutes, huh?
I don't see why not, but I don't see why either.
Oh, well, I just wanted to talk to her about it.
Oh, please, Mother.
Well, very well. Don't stay more than a few minutes, though, Joan. I want you to get as much rest as possible.
I will not be long, Mother.
Good night, Jerry, and call me if you hear from Tex.
I bet I will, Mrs. Gregory. Good night.
What did you want, Jerry?
I want to talk to you.
So you said.
Yeah, I think it's important.
What is it?
Well, McLeod is really worried about those engines, and he's right.
But, Jerry,
I know. I said everything was going to be all right just to make your mother feel good. Those engines are liable to quit any time at this speed.
Then we could not help the captain, and our position would be hopeless.
Well, that's the idea, and there's only one thing we can do if we get close enough to do it. Radio the captain to get away from that place and fly back to the boat. It'd be safer if we were all together.
But the Euclideans would escape.
Sure, and when they escape, they'll come after us.
Oh, but, Jerry, we must not allow that to happen.
I know that as well as you do. And I took a chance and told McLeod about my plan. He's going to do it, and your mother will never know the difference.
Jerry, you are going to trick Mother?
Oh, we've got to, Joan. Or we haven't got a chance to save the captain or do anything else. McLeod is going to cut the engines to 18 knots an hour, and we mustn't let your mother find it out.
"4,000 miles from Los Angeles, a small rocket plane drifts on the surface of the water. 400 miles from Los Angeles, a small passenger vessel races southward at its none-too-good full speed. On the boat, Mrs. Gregory, Jerry, and Joan are waiting patiently in the radio room for news of Captain Bradford. But the captain and his companion are a little too busy to be sending any radio messages right now. When the girl submarine commander, who has joined the Gregory party, and Tex Bradford landed their stolen rocket plane on the position directly above Euclidia, they found that the Euclideans had made one unsuccessful attempt to escape and were planning another. In the rocket plane, the girl sits alone, looking anxiously into the water, down into the mysterious depths which conceal the underwater city of Euclidia.
Give me your hand here, Captain Bradford. No, do not attempt to remove your helmet in the water. Come aboard.
Well, that was quite a dive with only a helmet.
It was remarkable. Did you descend deeply enough for your purpose?
I sure did. Planted 2 bottles of that solvent of mine where they won't even dare to touch one of the submarine locks, much less open one.
That is splendid, Captain. Now I will not need to use more of my limited supply of magnetic bombs.
Good thing. We may have other uses for those little gadgets.
Do you wish to suspend your solvent over the surface lock at this time?
That's not what I'm sure. Finding these glass globes full of the solvent is a good deal like laying a mine. It's no fun to have to go down there and pick them up ourselves.
They are set to break very easily, are they not?
Yes, if they contact anything metallic. Naturally, I couldn't have them going off every time a fish swam into them, but I hung them where they would be touched by the leading edge of the lock gate the moment it started to move.
And at the surface lock, the procedure would be the same?
Yeah, just about. Though I think I put the bottles where they'd have to strike them to turn the valve. Without the valve to flood the lock, they can't use it.
Very good. Except, as you have noted, in an emergency, we might have to use that lock to enter Euclidia.
That's the trouble. We couldn't get any more than they could get out. Of course, I could try getting the solvent loose without breaking both bottles, but it wouldn't be any too easy.
I will do as you say.
Have to risk it, I guess. If we don't bottle them up while we have a chance, they'll finally get desperate enough to come out in spite of the flood that will pour in there. And some of them will make it.
Surely enough of them to cause trouble for us.
More important than that, enough water would get in there to drown everyone else in the colony. We want to do this without hurting anyone if we can.
Then I suggest we place your solvent to guard that airlock immediately.
Will it use all our gas to taxi over there?
Almost, but we have little choice.
Okay, let's go.
Very well. In a few seconds, we will drift over the location.
Well, don't worry about using the gas to hold us there. I'll take this line down with me. If you drift a little, I can get back easy enough.
I will hand the solvent to you after you are in the water, as I did before.
That's safest. Those two bottles ever banged together and broke, that stuff would eat a hole through this boat before we could move.
We are practically over the lock now.
Okay, I'll get out. Then you hand me the bottles.
Will you secure this line about your waist?
Maybe I'd better at that. I might run into a little surprise of some kind down there. They could be watching us, you know.
I presume they are, but I think you are in no danger from that. Everyone on Euclidia knows of your solvent, and they realize that any accident to you would flood the colony.
I hope they do realize it. Well, here I go. Wait a second until I get this line trailing freely in the water now. Okay. Pass out the bottles one at a time.
Here is the smaller one.
Got it?
And here is the larger.
Fine. Now keep this door open. Once I'm down, feel this line and keep it fairly tight. If I give you two quick ones, use some gas dragging me away from there. Don't wait to try and pull me in.
I understand perfectly, Captain. Here is your helmet.
These little helmets are pretty good at that. I'll make it as quick as I can.
Patricia Gregory to Captain Bradford. Hello, Tex. Waiting for your report. Patricia Gregory to Captain Bradford. Hello, Tex. Patricia Gregory to Tex Bradford. Hello, Tex. Waiting for your report. Can you hear me? Hello, Tex. Calling as you requested. Can you hear me?
Elaine Raleigh to Gregory boat. Call you later. Working now. Call you later. That is all.
I will wait for your call.
The captain should now be coming up. All is not well with him. There. 2 sharp jerks on the line. I will pull him to safety.
I'm all right, Elaine. Be with you in a minute.
I will help you with the line, Captain. Did you lose your helmet?
No. I took it off. Be all right in a minute.
Let me have your hand.
Okay, here I come. Oh, boy. Thanks.
Were you underwater long without your helmet?
Just about as long as I could hold my breath. Seemed like half a day, but I suppose it was about a minute.
You are very cold, Captain. This night air with that slight breeze and your wet clothes.
No, I'm all right.
You will go into the rear compartment and dress yourself in dry clothes immediately.
But we've got work to do. I heard those Euclideans say
What
that...
you heard them say can wait. I will be in a most unpleasant position if you become ill.
I guess you're right. No time. Look over there.
Captain, the surface of the water is disturbed over a large area.
Right, and that's what I heard them talking about when I took off my helmet to put my ear against the wall of that lock.
What is happening?
They're raising the island again.
Raising the island?
That's what they're doing.
If that happens, we are powerless.
Just about, as far as I can see. How long will it take them to get that thing above water?
The island was accidentally disabled and partially flooded during that artificial volcanic eruption. They will have to raise it very slowly. I would say 300 seconds before the ceiling of the island could possibly reach the surface.
That water's moving around a lot over there now.
Maybe nearer the surface than I calculated. I am sure, however, that it will take 300 seconds to bring the floor of the island above the surface, after we see the tops of the surface chambers.
And in 5 minutes, we've got to figure how to capture 300 people with a dozen exits to safety and all the arms and ammunition on Euclidia. And we've got just 2 little bottles of solvent.
I have a desperate plan, Captain. Will you risk it with me?
I'll try anything.
Then call your boat quickly. Tell them what's happening.
What good will that do?
Our plan will probably fail. It is only fair to warn them what to expect.
Right. Bradford to Gregory boat. Bradford calling Gregory boat. Hello? Hello? I don't get them.
Try it again. And hurry. The island is rising.
Bradford calling the Gregory boat. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Bradford calling Gregory boat. Hello? Hello? Bradford calling Gregory boat. Hello? Can you hear me?
It's Tex. Yes, Jerry. Answer him at once.
Bradford to Gregory boat. This is a hurry-up. Answer at once.
Hello, Tex. Jerry Hall on Gregory boat to Captain Bradford. Go ahead, Tex. Go ahead.
Get all of this and get it quick, kid. We're going to have trouble. The island is being raised again.
Jerry, the island.
Yeah, they're raising it.
Did you get that?
Oh, Jerry, what is it?
Wait, Mother.
Yes, Tex. I got it. Raising the island.
Right. Elaine says we've got about 5 minutes to plan some way to stop them. If we don't, well, you're going to be running into trouble when you get here.
What are you going to do?
Let me take it, Jerry. Hello, Tex. Can we do anything?
Don't know what it would be. They're raising the island, and it looks hopeless.
We'll keep coming, Tex. Full speed ahead. Oh, Tex, we'll help if we get there in time.
Afraid you won't make it, Pat, but hold it. Hold it a minute.
Tex, what happened? Tex!
No use, Mrs. Gregory. I heard his set cut out.
There was water. I know I heard rushing water.
Yes, Mother, but we can do nothing.
We'll see if you can find anything wrong with this radio set, Jerry.
Well, I'll try, Mrs. Gregory, but the trouble's on the other end.
And we can't do a thing to help them.
Guess not. And they're raising that magic island again.
I thought the island was destroyed accidentally in that eruption.
Perhaps they had a reason for allowing us to believe that.
Jerry, is the set all right?
It's perfect, Mrs. Gregory. Tex just quit sending, that's all.
John, run and get Mr. Johnson. Have him turn the wheel over to the quartermaster. Get him in here at once.
Yes, Mother. I will go at once.
And Jerry.
Yes, Mrs. Gregory?
Get the engineer and the skipper. Send them to me as fast as you can.
But what will you do?
Oh, I'll stay with this radio. Get those men in here.
You bet I will, as quickly as I can, Mrs. Gregory. Hey, Joan, wait a minute.
I am in a hurry, Jerry.
I know it, but wait a minute.
But, Jerry, Mother told me to hurry and send Mr. Johnson to her.
Yeah, and I'm after the skipper and McLeod the engineer, but a couple of seconds won't hurt anything.
What is it?
Well, I didn't want to say anything in front of your mother, but this looks mighty bad. Well, we'll never get there in time to rescue Tex and Elaine.
I feel that too, Jerry. Is there nothing we can do?
Not a blame thing from here. If we were in 500 miles of that blame magic island, we could try for it with this little plane lashed to the deck. But 4,000 miles, no chance.
Then if you are so helpless, why did you stop me? I should be completing my mother's orders.
Well, I've got a crazy plan, if you'll help me with it.
I will do anything.
Well, this won't help the captain a bit.
Oh, but Jerry...
Wait till I finish. It won't help the captain, but it will help your mother a little. Keep her from worrying for a while, and that'll be something.
Oh, yes, Jerry. If we can help Mother maintain her peace of mind, we will be accomplishing something.
Right, and here it is. Now, there's a little portable transmitter, a pack outfit in Texas cabin on this boat.
But what good will a radio do?
Will you wait till I finish this?
Yes, Jerry.
Well, as soon as I send Mac and the skipper to your mother. Hey, wait a minute. Here's the skipper now. Hey, skipper.
Aye.
Mrs. Gregory wants you and McLeod in the radio shack right away. Will you please tell Mac?
Aye.
And hurry it up?
Aye.
Now, your message to Johnson can wait a minute. Here's what I'll do. The minute those men are out of sight, and you get Johnson in the radio shack, come right into Texas cabin. I'm going in there right now and set up the pack transmitter.
What will you do with it?
Well, you can sound like Elaine, can't you?
Not very well, I'm afraid, Jerry. I have never learned to speak easily, as you do.
All right, I'll fix that, too. I'll fix the microphone so your voice will sound pretty bad. Mr. Gregory won't be able to tell who it is. Now, I want you to pretend to be Elaine. You're sending your mother a message as if Elaine was the
But
sender.
what can I say?
Oh, anything. It doesn't matter. Just so your mother thinks Tex and Elaine are still afloat and doing all right. You can say that everything is all right, only that you'll be too busy to talk for a few hours.
Excellent, Jerry. I will say that the captain and I are too busy for radio communication, but all is well, and we will send further information when possible.
Ah, now you've got it. Hurry and send Johnson to your mother. Then run for Texas cabin, and the minute you get there, we'll call this boat, and you can cheer up your mother.
Exploring tomorrow. And now here is your guide to these adventures of the mind, John Campbell, Jr.
There's the old saying that power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. You know, it isn't really power that corrupts, but immunity to punishment and control. And every fool with a little power wants to achieve that immunity. Usually it's held that like attracts like. The two individuals with the same great fundamental characteristic will be normally attracted to each other. You know, this isn't necessarily so. It may not be true. You may have two people who don't like each other, but are forced by the very nature of the fact that they have a unique characteristic to endure each other.
Oh, just a little more. Oh, Alan, isn't it beautiful the way it bubbles and bubbles? Oh, Alan, let's have champagne every night on our honeymoon.
You want to take a bath in it? I can arrange that, too.
Oh, Alan, really? Pink champagne?
Just as pink as you're blushing right now.
Oh, Alan.
What's the matter? Do you think Mr. and Mrs. Alan Carvel are going to live like the rest of the slobs? I tell you, baby...
Alan.
Oh, what's wrong, Alan?
Nothing.
Alan.
You look so funny all of a sudden.
Get off my back. Thank heaven I've found you. Why haven't you been answering me these last few days?
Do I have to check in with you everything I do, every place I go?
Alan?
Oh, it's all right. I'm all right, Jeannie. Just leave me alone for a minute,
Get out of my mind, Laurie. Get out, I tell you. I'll talk to you later.
You'll talk to me now. What are you doing with this child? What are you trying to hide from me?
All right. I'll get rid of her, then I can talk to you. Give me 20 or 30 minutes to take her home.
I'll give you half an hour, that's all. And don't try to close up your mind and hide from me again.
All right, I say.
Jeannie, it's all right.
You went so white there all of a sudden. Alan, honey, are you sick?
No, it's just one of those migraine headaches of mine. Honey, look, I better take you home.
Oh, honey.
No, it's all right. I just need some sleep, that's all. Come on, let's get your coat.
Oh, you better not come in. That old landlady.
Oh, that's okay. Good night, baby.
Oh.
Good night now.
And get lots of sleep. Take care of your poor head. Call me in the morning.
That's the deal. Good night, honey.
Good night, Alan.
What makes you do things like that, Alan?
You stuck with me every inch of the way, didn't you?
How old is she? 16?
17. What's it to you?
Oh, I have to be conscience for both of us.
Thank you, sweet Lorraine. Who asked you to?
You did, Alan. You always have. All these things you do are challenges to me to set right. All your venom against a fate that made you one of the only two telepaths in the world is twisted against me, your only partner in this lonely land. You strike out at me because I'm like you. And because by the same chance that made us, I'm the stronger one.
That's a lie. I can break loose from you any time. Let me go. I can't breathe.
I won't hurt you, Alan. I could never hurt you. Though I thank whoever or whatever's responsible for making us as we are, that it's me, not you, who has the additional power to reach out and move physical objects with my mind.
You would. You waste something like that and then feel good about it. What I could do with something like that. Why don't you leave me alone?
Because I love you, Alan. If you'd been a man with decent instincts, bound as we are together, we could have married and found what little happiness is possible for two like us in this world. But there's a twisted streak in you that wouldn't let you settle for that.
Go ahead, play the little mother. You're no good for anything else.
You didn't think so once, Alan.
You're over the hill, baby. Face it.
I've faced it, Alan. Have you?
What do you mean?
Can't you see you're getting worse? When we were just children together, before we'd even seen each other face to face, we used to talk to each other at night, clear across the city, mind to mind, about how someday we'd go out and find others like us. But if you had the chance to find someone like us now, you wouldn't take it. You don't want others. You want to be the only one.
Why not?
Why not? You've got a gun in your pocket right now. Don't you see the danger in all that? Don't you know what it can do to you?
Don't try to scare me, Laurie.
I'm not trying to scare you, Alan. A telepath living in a world of non-telepaths is not a normal person. He can't be. He has to walk a chalk line all the time to preserve his sanity. He can't afford inner conflicts or emotional violences or shocks. What do you plan to do with that girl? What's the gun for? And what's that you're trying to hide right now, right under the surface of your mind there?
All right. You want to know? I'll tell you. I'm getting out. I'm getting away from this city and away from you, and that girl goes with me. I'm going to take what I want, anything I want, and live like I deserve to, and you can't stop me.
Alan, answer me. Don't shut yourself off from me like that. Alan!
Exploring Tomorrow continues in just a moment.
This is Bill Goodwin. You know, someone once said humor is the true democracy. And that's why we Americans can smile when we tell the stories of the legendary heroes who helped to build our country's great institutions and industries. Like Bowleg Bill, hero of the tuna fishing industry. Back in Provincetown, Massachusetts, they claimed that when it came to hauling in the horse mackerel, as the Easterners call tuna, Bill could handle 2 gaffs at once and catch more than any 6 men put together. And they're still talking about the time Bill caught old Slick Britches, the biggest horse mackerel of them all. No one could ever get his hooks into Slick Britches, who weighed 2,000 pounds and had a tail 6 feet long. But Bowleg Bill promised to land him single-handed. He set out in his boat, Toss-Up, and when he spotted Slick Britches, he made a grab for him, but the tuna slipped through his hands. So Bill dove over the side, and before folks knew what had happened, Bill was sitting astride old Slick Britches, who was bucking like a bronco. He leaped almost a mile out of the water, but Bill hung on. All over the harbor they went, jumping and leaping, but still Bill hung on. Finally, Slick Britches gave one last leap over the Toss-Up, and then calmed down, all the fight gone out of him. Bill steered him toward shore, but all of a sudden he headed him back out to sea, slapped the tuna's tail, and jumped off. Now, folks were mighty disappointed when Slick Britches disappeared, but it was like Bill told them. There's nothing that'll break a cowhand's heart so quick as to find a critter with the ruff all rode off at the first mount. Yes, sir, it is a democracy which lets us tell the stories of such a legendary character as Bowleg Bill with a twinkle in our eyes and a chuckle in our throats. And so long as we continue to laugh together as a people, ladies and gentlemen, we will live together as a nation.
Telepathy has long seemed like a wonderful thing to have, a wonderful possession. But have you ever considered it in terms of the absolute end of privacy? You know, explorers have found that if you put 2 men in one little cabin isolated far away from the rest of the world, they don't learn to like each other. They learn to hate each other.
Now, Sue? Did I wake you, honey? I thought you was going to watch the Late Late Show on Channel 2. What's this, a little past midnight? Oh, I'm sorry I woke you, honey. I just felt like phoning. No, it's quiet as a church. Been through the plant and the tool shop 4 times already. I was just going to check the officers and... Oh, now, come on. Now, stop worrying. Nobody knows about these night payroll deliveries. Anyway, they've come and gone. The money's already in the safe. Sure I will. What?
That's a gun you feel in your back. You say goodbye and hang up fast. And don't turn around.
No. It's all right. I just remembered I forgot to ring in, and I'll better hurry and do that right now. I'll call you back later. Goodbye.
All right, let's head for that safe over there. Now move.
Don't worry. I have a healthy respect for guns. There it is over there. I don't know what good's going to do. I ain't got the combination.
Shut up. I'll stand over there where I can watch you.
Hey, you opened it right up. Who told you the combination?
The president of the company.
Are you kidding? What is this, a gag of some kind? Look, if this is just a joke, mister. No. I didn't make...
Think about jumping me, will you?
Slob.
Slob, that's all he was, a slob.
Oh, Alan, please tell me what this is all about. You go home with a migraine headache, and then you call up and get me out in the middle of the night, and you keep drinking, but you won't tell me what's the matter.
What's the matter? That's a funny one. Come here, come close. I'm going to tell you something.
Alan, you're hurting my arm.
Listen to me. You want to know something? You know how trees think? They think real long and slow and peaceful, and sometimes they take all winter just to think one little thought.
Trees?
Mm-hmm.
Thinking?
Oh, it isn't real thinking. It's just living, you know? You hear them living, calm and quiet and slow. And cats. Listen to me, lady. You know how cats think?
No.
Well, cats think sort of S-shaped, like a snake crawling. And dogs, dogs are all excited. Up and down, like a pogo stick. Even when they're dreaming. Everything thinks. Do you know that, Janie? Everything. All day long. Forever. Never. Everything goes on thinking. As long as they live. And when they're dying.
Alan, are you cold? Let me hold you. Oh, you're shivering like crazy.
Give me a drink, miss.
Sweetheart, you've had enough.
I want a drink, I said. Here, give me yours. You're not touching it anyway.
Alan, I really think you shouldn't be...
Look, I got a better idea. Tell you what, let's get out of here, huh? Let's get out of this town tonight, and we'll go far away where she can never find us. We'll take my car and we'll head south. Right now. We can buy what we need as we go. We get married on the way. What do you say, Jeannie?
Well, Alan, I...
You love me. Don't you love me, baby? You said you'd always do anything I ever wanted. Well, this is what I want. Get out tonight. And don't worry about money. I got lots of it.
You have?
Sure.
Where did you get a lot of money all of a sudden?
I'll tell you when we're on the road, okay? Oh, answer me. Or I'll leave you behind here.
Alan, you wouldn't go off and leave me.
Well, of course not, honey. But I gotta go. There's no two choices about it, and I gotta go now. Now, you're coming with me, aren't you?
Well,
One of the worst things about a conscience is that the darn thing is always going with you wherever you are. Alan had something other than a conscience, and running away didn't do much good. Telepathy has no distance limitations.
Alan.
What?
It's starting to get light. Alan, you never did tell me where you got the money.
Not now. Can't you see I'm out of my feet?
Well, we could stop and get a couple of hotel rooms somewhere.
No, we've got to keep driving.
But we're nearly 100 miles out of town already. You keep saying we've got to keep driving, but I don't see why we couldn't stop for just a few hours.
Oh, shut up, will you?
Alan.
You don't like it? Get out and take a bus back. Who needs you?
I don't know what's wrong with you. You never used to be like this. Then last night...
Well, just shut up!
Alan.
What?
Nothing.
Alan.
I'm not turning back.
Yes, you are, Alan. This time you're turning back, even if I have to make you.
Make me, then.
Alan, you're slowing down.
She's making me. She's making me. Talk out loud.
You look in pretty bad shape.
Give me a cigarette.
There's some on the desk. I'm glad you came right back here when I turned you around. It shows there's some hope.
Now cut it out. What did you stop me for?
That watchman. It was you, Alan, wasn't it?
What watchman?
Alan.
All right. Yes, it was me. He was a slob, so he's dead. So what?
The gun you beat him to death with is in your pocket right this minute.
So what?
So I'm going to have to make you go to the police and show them the gun and tell them.
You can't do that by remote control. You have to go with me.
I'll go with you.
And what do you tell them about how you happen to know all this? How about that?
I will tell them.
What about us? About me and you? About you?
I don't want to...
Are you crazy? You know what that would mean? You think they'd believe you? And if they did, what it'd be for the rest of your life? You'd be owned, Laurie. Owned, guarded and locked away by them. The Slavs, like a piece of machinery made to do what they wanted you to do for them. You'd never be free again.
All I ever wanted was what any woman wants, the chance to lead a normal life. Look at me, Alan. I'm not bad looking. I never was. But the only man I could ever have been a normal wife to was you. And you never grew up. You've been a selfish little boy all your life, and I've paid for it.
Why didn't you leave me alone? Just leave me alone.
Leave you alone? Do you think you ever really wanted me to leave you alone? I was forced to love you the same way the only woman in the world would be forced to love the only man in the world.
Well, now it's too late. I can't let you kill again.
Then do it. Go ahead, handcuff me with that mind of yours. Take me to the cops. Make them believe you. Do you think that'll stop me? Do you think there's any jail that can hold me, any guards that can keep me? Go ahead. You're the only force in this world that can chain me, and you can't watch me 24 hours a day. You've got to sleep sometimes, and... Laurie, you're choking.
You would break loose, wouldn't you, Alan? You would kill again, in spite of all I could do to stop you. All right, you can breathe now. No, don't look at me like that. I'm not going to kill you. Even now, I can't do that. That gun of yours is in your inside pocket. Lift your right hand, Alan. Put it inside your coat. Now, take out the gun. Don't try to fight my will, Alan. You know it's no use. Now, you will point it at me.
No, Laurie, not you. Anyone but you. Not you, Laurie, not you.
Alan, it's me, Jeannie. Darling, can't you hear me?
Jeannie.
Sweetheart, just try to move your finger. Or your eyes. Just move your eyes a little so I'll know you'll hear me.
Jeannie, I can't move. I can't do anything. Help me.
Alan.
It's like being buried alive. I'm paralyzed. Help me. Laurie, come back and help me. Laurie.
So Alan had his wish fulfilled. Alan wanted immunity from consequences of his actions. There's only one way to achieve it, and he achieved it. If you do nothing, if you have no actions whatever, then you have immunity from consequences. And that's the only way. Otherwise, you're responsible for what you do, whether you like it or not.
Join us for a fascinating adventure in Exploring Tomorrow. Heard in our cast tonight were Mandel Kramer and Bryna Rayburn. Script was by Gordon Dixon. Produced and directed by Sanford Marshall here in New York. Bill Maher speaking.
We pause now for station identification.
Presenting the transcription feature, Superman.
Look, up in the sky.
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman. Yes, it's Superman, strange visitor from the planet Krypton, who came to Earth with powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men. Superman, who can leap tall buildings at a single bound, race a speeding bullet to its target, bend steel in his bare hands, and who, disguised as Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter for a great metropolitan newspaper, fights a never-ending battle for truth and justice.
And now to our story.
Clark Kent and Lois Lane have been sent to Martin City to unearth what information they can concerning the mysterious disappearance of Dr. Roebling, a famous inventor. Within an hour after checking in at the hotel, they learned some amazing things. To begin with, they accidentally met the blonde young woman who claimed she was Dr. Roebling's daughter, and learned she was occupying room 514 under the registration of Mr. and Mrs. Jack Smith. Sending Lois off to bed, Kent, as Superman, leaped to the window of 514, raised the sash, and dropped silently into the darkened room. For a moment, he stood motionless. And then...
Both beds are empty. Nobody's here. I'll look around anyway. I might find something of interest. No sense making it harder for myself by working in the dark. I'll turn on the light. That's much better. Now, let's see. Just one large suitcase. I don't like rummaging through other people's belongings, but I think it's justified in this case. It's funny. The initials on the suitcase are KR. Could that R stand for Roebling? Let's see what's in it. A couple of dresses, some silk stockings, a pair of high-heeled shoes, nothing very exciting. Oh, wait. Driver's license. Issued to Catherine Roebling. It's possible that she is his daughter. Can't figure this out. None of it makes sense. Wait, here's something else. A penciled memorandum on the back of an envelope. 218 State Street. Uh-oh, someone's coming in. That means I go. Off with the light. No time to close the window. Out and away.
Forced to make a sudden departure because of a key turning in the lock of room 514, Superman is unaware that the person manipulating the key is none other than Lois Lane. Lois, attempting to steal a march on Kent and get the story of Dr. Roebling's disappearance first, has gone to the hotel desk, brazenly requested the key to 514, and is at this very moment slowly opening the unlocked door.
Phew. I had a few uneasy moments. If I'd have found anyone in here, heaven only knows what I'd have done. Now I gotta work fast. Let me see. The light switch should be along this wall. Yeah, here it is. Nothing but a suitcase. Well, Miss Roebling, or whoever she is, doesn't travel in any great style. Not bad-looking dresses. Let's see where they were bought. Madame Lenore. Well, our blonde friend must have money. Shoes, stockings, powders, package of hairpins. Not much of a story here. Wonder where they...
Oh, don't move, Miss Lane. And keep your mouth shut.
I'm sorry. I walked in here by mistake.
I see. And you decided while you were here to look through my suitcase. What, do you take me for a fool?
Well, you don't have to point that gun at me. I'm not a criminal.
Pretty close to one, I should say. Stay where you are. This little pearl-handle revolver isn't a toy. It hasn't much of a bark, but it's got a terrific fight. So what are you doing in here?
I might ask you the same question.
Don't get smart. I don't like smart women.
Well, then you won't mind if I leave.
Take one more step and they'll carry you out of here feet first. Now, how did you get the key to this room?
I simply walked up to the room clerk and asked for it. Why?
Give it to me.
I'm afraid you'll have to come and get it. I prefer having the door unlocked.
Oh. So that's how it is.
Yep, that's how it is.
Now, look, Miss Lane, I don't want any trouble with you. You broke into my room and I could have you locked up.
Why don't you? Go ahead, call the police.
I don't need to. I can handle this in my own way. Now, give me that key.
Sorry.
I said give me that key.
Still sorry.
All right. You ask.
Now, wait. I believe you would use that gun.
Sister, you came pretty close to getting it that time. Now, hand over that key. Thanks. Now we can lock the door and have a little privacy. You think of everything, don't you? It pays to be careful, Miss Lane. My husband and I have too much at stake to take chances.
Oh, you have a husband?
Oh, yes. And you may have the pleasure of meeting him. That's my husband now. Stand back against the wall, Miss Lane. And don't move. Hello?
What happened to you?
Oh, I ran into a little trouble.
What do you mean?
I was just about to leave when I bumped into that man I met in the train. You know, Clark Kent.
At the hotel?
Yes, in the lobby. He had a girl with him, Lois Lane. She's here in the room now.
Why are you wasting time? I told you I needed those papers immediately.
Oh, take it easy, Jack. She broke into my room and I caught her going through the suitcase.
What?
Yes. What'll I do with her?
Well, who is she?
I know, but the name sounds familiar.
Well, lock her in the room and get down here as fast as you can. I think he's ready to sign.
On the level?
Yes. I must have those papers.
I'll be there in 10 minutes.
Okay.
You're a lucky girl, Miss Lane. Things are breaking right for us, so we're going to give you a break. I'll have to lock you in, but the maid will let you out in the morning.
Thanks a lot.
Oh, don't mention it. You'll pardon me while I toss a few things in my bag. Here, I use these manicure scissors to cut this telephone wire, just so you won't be tempted to call anyone.
That's very considerate of you.
Don't mention it. There we are. All set. Well, goodbye, Miss Lane. Better luck next time. So. Help! Someone let me out of here. Help! Help!
Locked in the room with the telephone line cut, Lois pounds on the door until her hands ache, but all to no avail. Meanwhile, Superman, having once again assumed the disguising role of Clark Kent, has been seated in the lobby behind a pillar, awaiting the return of the mysterious young woman he now believes is Catherine Roebling. Suddenly, she steps out of the elevator, carrying her suitcase, approaches the desk, and checks out. Keeping well hidden, Kent follows her to the street, watches her slide behind the wheel of a blue roadster and drive off. Rather than risk detection by trailing the girl as Superman, Kent steps into a waiting taxicab and follows her.
The dame driving that bus is sure stepping on it, mister.
Keep up with her.
Yeah, but what if I get a ticket?
I'll take care of it.
Okay. Hold on now. We're going to make this corner on two wheels.
You all right, mister? Don't you worry about me. Just keep that roadster in sight.
She's doing 70. I can't pump this crate up much higher. But if we can follow her tail lights a long way. Baby, look at her take that right turn, huh? She almost went over. That's a light car she's got. Don't hold the road so good. Well, here we go. You don't have to worry, mister. This jalopy is real solid.
I'm not worried.
There's only one thing I don't like. Crossing these intersections at 65. It ain't healthy.
Look out! A car coming out of the side street! Look out! Unhurt, despite the fact that the rear end of the cab folded like an accordion, Kent, making use of the strength of Superman, plows through the twisted steel to extricate the driver of the cab and the two occupants of the second car, all badly injured. Meanwhile, the girl in the blue roadster has reached her destination, far from the scene of the accident. Slipping into the dark hallway of a dingy tenement, she mounts the steps and enters a barren one-room flat, where Dr. Roebling, gaunt and looking older even than his years, is seated in a chair. Facing him is a youngish man with thin, cruel lips and shifty eyes.
I thought I told you to get down here fast.
I came as fast as I could, Jack.
Close the door. Lock it. Where are the papers?
I've got them in my handbag. Here.
Mm. All right, Uncle Walter. Now, all you have to do is put your signature on these two papers.
I told you I won't do it. Why do you keep insisting?
I thought you said he was all set.
Shut up.
Who is that woman?
That's Catherine, my wife, Uncle Walter. Now, here's the fountain pen. Just sign there.
I've seen her before someplace. Oh, yes, I remember. It was on the train. She sat at my table in the dining car. She was the one that put the drops in my coffee.
Nobody put any drops in your coffee, Uncle Walter. You're just not well. And I want to see that your wonderful invention is protected. Come. Sign the paper.
No, never. Never. You can keep me here until I drop dead, but I'll never give up the rights to my voice machine. I know what you want it for. To profit by it. You're my brother's son, all right. He was the same way. Grasping and avaricious.
Ah, you're wasting time, Jack. He won't sign that way.
I'm handling this.
Okay.
Now look, Uncle Walter. I'm going to give you one more chance to sign these papers. Do you hear me? One more chance. Then we'll try something else.
I don't care what you do. I'll never sign. Maybe you don't know it, but the world's on fire today. Civilization is fighting for survival. My voice machine can be used in that fight. No one can have it for private profit.
All right, you old fool. You'll sign the rights over to me whether you like it or not. Get the hypo out of my bag, Chicky.
Here. What does it do, Jack?
Thank you. It'll make him groggy. He won't know what he's doing. But we've got to be careful. It's dangerous stuff. Come on. Hold his arm.
You let go of me. Let go of me, I say.
Roll his sleeve up.
Jack, you're mad. You're insane. You're my brother's son.
Shut up. Now, hold his arm steady. That's right. Steady.
Now what will happen? Will Jack Roebling, unscrupulous nephew of the aged inventor, gain possession of the invaluable voice machine? And what is the voice machine? So precious that a model of it is insured for $10 million. Don't miss the next episode or any episode after that. Follow the thrilling story with Superman.
Don't forget, tune in again for the next thrilling episode with Superman.
Look, up in the sky.
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman. Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Action Comics magazine. Presenting the transcription feature, Superman.
Look, up in the sky.
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman. Yes, it's Superman, strange visitor from the planet Krypton, who came to Earth with powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men. Superman, who can leap tall buildings at a single bound, race a speeding bullet to its target, bend steel in his bare hands, and who, disguised as Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter for a great metropolitan newspaper, fights a never-ending battle for truth and justice.
And now to our story. With Lois Lane locked in a hotel room and Clark Kent involved in an automobile accident, the blonde young woman who posed as Dr. Roebling's daughter and is in reality his niece by marriage made good her getaway. Speeding across town, she joined her unscrupulous husband in a barren tenement room where he was trying to force his inventor uncle, Dr. Roebling, to turn over the rights to a new secret voice machine, so valuable it has been insured for $10 million. In the meantime, Kent has returned to the hotel from the scene of the accident. Hurrying to Lois's room, he finds her gone. Frantically, he searches the lobby and makes inquiry at the desk, but to no avail. Meanwhile, in room 514, where Lois has been unable to attract attention by pounding on the door, she has torn the bed sheets into strips and is knotting them together, preparing to lower herself out the fifth-floor window.
Well, that's the last strip. If it isn't long enough to reach the ground now, there's nothing I can do. There. As tight as I can get it. Now to try it. Oh, I never knew the fifth floor of a building was so high. Looks like a long way down. An awfully long way. Well, there's only one thing to do. Find out whether this bed sheet rope will reach. Here goes. Out the window with it. Hard to see in the dark. I can't tell whether... Yeah, I see it. It reaches. Oh, that's a relief. Now, tie this end of it to the bed. Pull the bed over close to the window. There. That does it. Now, Lois, old girl, let's see how good a monkey you are. One leg over the sill. Just take it easy. It's a long drop if you make one slip. Now the other leg. So far, so good. Seems to be holding. Deep breath and down slowly. And overhand.
With amazing courage, Lois begins her perilous escape from the locked room, climbing down the improvised rope to the ground 5 stories below. But unknown to her, the swaying of her body is rubbing part of the knotted bedsheet against the sharp stone corner of the window ledge, gradually cutting into the material. At any moment it may rip and send Lois hurtling to her death on the stone courtyard below. Meanwhile, Clark Kent, unable to find Lois, has returned to the desk, where he makes further inquiry of the night clerk.
Are you sure you haven't seen Miss Lane? Try and remember. She's dark, about 5'4", and very pretty. She was wearing a gray pinstripe suit and a brown hat with a greenish feather.
I wonder.
You wonder what?
I wonder whether she could have been the young lady who asked for the key to 514.
514? No, that girl's blonde.
Oh, there were 2 of them, sir.
2 of them? What do you mean?
Oh, 2 young ladies asked for the key to 514.
What?
And as I recall, the first one answers the description quite accurately, except for the hat. She wasn't wearing a hat.
Wait, let me get this straight. 2 girls asked for the key to room 514. The first was a brunette answering the description I gave you?
Yes, sir.
Well, did you give her the key?
Yes, sir.
What about the second girl? Was she blonde?
I think she was, sir. I told her the first young lady had taken the key.
Yes?
She seemed puzzled, but she said nothing, just entered the elevator.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know. Thanks.
Going up, sir.
5th floor, please.
Fifth floor.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. Good night.
Good night. Oh, here's 514. That sound coming from the room. Couldn't be two women in there, neither of them talking. That's impossible. Open up! Nothing doing. All right, we'll open from the outside.
That's Superman. This lock shouldn't be too hard to force.
But even as Superman slowly forces the locked door, grim tragedy is in the making in the room beyond. Worn through by constant rubbing against the stone window ledge, the knotted strips of bedsheet down which Lois is climbing are about to part. But the courageous girl reporter suspended 4 stories above a stone courtyard. Suddenly the material gives way. Lois screams as she hurls down.
What was that? Someone screamed. No one here. What's that hanging out of the window? Great Scott. Lois, falling. Down, down. Got her. Only a few inches from the pavement. That was too close for comfort. I better land and see if she's all right. Poor kid, she's limp as a rag. Fainted dead away. I can't blame her much. That's a long drop. I think the best thing to do is take her to her room. That's Clark Kent. No, that's no good. There'll be questions asked if I carried her through the lobby. I'll take her to my room through the window. Up! Now, up for the window. And inside. There we are. Now, a little cold water should bring her to. Now, if I can just get some of this past her lips. That's a good girl. Swallow it. That does the trick. I'd better assume Clark Kent's role before she opens her eyes.
Oh. You're all right, Lois. Take a little more water now. That's it.
Oh, I was falling. I think.
Now, just take it easy.
Clark, what happened?
You're the luckiest girl alive, Miss Lane.
What happened? How did I get hit? Last thing I remember, something gave way and I was falling. Oh, it's horrible.
Well, you won't believe this, Lois, but you fell in a pile of mattresses.
What?
On the level. I imagine the hotel was getting rid of some old mattresses, and they were piled up in the courtyard right under your window. If they hadn't been there, you wouldn't be talking to me now.
Well, that's funny. I didn't see any mattresses, and I looked out the window before climbing down.
What on earth made you attempt anything so dangerous?
It was the only way I could get out of the room.
Why?
See, I got to see it when 514.
As Lois recounts to Kent the reason for her attempted escape from the locked room, Dr. Roebling, inventor of the voice machine, is at the mercy of his unscrupulous nephew and his blonde wife. At the moment, the two conspirators are standing at one end of the bare room, watching Dr. Roebling attempt to rise from the chair in which he is seated.
What does that stuff do, Jack? The stuff you shot into his arm?
It's supposed to make him dopey. Put him in a sort of trance.
Let me go, Jack. Keep my brother's son. No, flesh and blood.
He can't get out of the chair.
The stuff's beginning to work.
What happens when he goes into the trance?
Well, he'll do what I tell him. Sign that paper.
Jack, listen to me. Listen.
Okay. I think he's ready. Come on. Oh, get the pen.
Okay.
Uncle Walter.
Yes?
How do you feel, Uncle Walter?
I feel all right.
That's good. You remember you were going to sign a paper for me, Uncle Walter?
Paper? What paper?
Don't you remember? Someone was trying to steal your voice machine, and you were going to sign a paper to keep him from stealing it. Oh, you must remember.
Yes. I remember.
Put the pen into his hand.
Right.
Now you're all ready to sign, Uncle Walter. Oh, you dropped the pen. Put it back in his hand. There, we picked it up for you. Now all you have to do is sign right here.
What am I signing?
I told you, Uncle Walter. It's to protect you from having your voice machine stolen. You want to be protected, don't you?
Yes. Protected.
That's why you're signing. Now, come. Just write Walter Roebling on this line. Hurry, Uncle Walter. There isn't much time. That's it.
He's signing.
Shut up. Oh, no, Uncle Walter. Don't stop. You must write your last name, too. You just signed Walter. Hold his arm up. We gotta work fast. That stuff will wear off. Come now. Finish it. There we are. R-O-E-B-L-I-N-G. That's fine. All right, come on, Chicky. Let's get out of here before he comes around.
Get your marvelous. We've got it. It's ours.
Stow the chatter. I'll take the suitcase. Come on.
Jack, you're my brother's son. My brother's son. Why are you doing this? Jack, you're my brother's son.
But where are we going, Clark?
I'd like to check the 218 State Street address penciled on the back of that envelope.
I still don't understand why you insisted on getting our car out of the garage instead of using a taxi.
I feel safer with a wheel in my own hands after that accident.
Well, I trust myself with most cabbies. They're good drivers.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Well, at least they don't go through red lights.
Oh, sorry. Didn't see it. The car stops on a dime. Good brake.
Oh, there's the job I'd like to own.
Huh?
That blue roadster waiting for the light across the street.
Blue Roadster? Lois,
What's the matter?
that's the Blue Roadster Catherine Roebling drove off in. Look, she's in it now. Sitting next to the man at the wheel.
There they go.
And we're going after them. Hold on.
Are you sure that's the girl?
Positive. I'm going to catch them if it's the last thing I do.
Can the car Kent is driving keep up with the Blue Roadster? Or will Roebling's nephew escape with the papers his uncle signed? Superman may have to take a hand. As a matter of fact, he does in one of the most thrilling episodes you've ever heard. Don't miss it. Don't forget, tune in again for the next thrilling episode with Superman.
Look, up in the sky.
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman. Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Action Comics magazine.
Kellogg's Pep, the build-up wheat cereal, invite you to rocket into the future with Corbett, Space Cadet. Stand by to raise ship. Blast off. -5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. As roaring rockets blast off to distant planets and far-flung stars, we take you to the age of the conquest of space with Corbett, Space Cadet. The big, sprawling administration building at Luna Base is the nerve center of one of the busiest ports in the entire solar system. For here, great spaceships from Earth and the far-flung planets of the system are constantly arriving and departing. And here, in the anteroom of the commanding officer's headquarters, Cadets Tom Corbett and Roger Manning sit, nervously awaiting a summons into the inner office.
Tom, I wonder how much longer we'll have to wait.
Now, watch it, Roger. Here's the CO.
Cadets Corbett and Manning?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm Captain Willis. Step into the office, please.
Come on, Roger. I've got a feeling this detail's going to be a real dog.
Cadets, I'd like you to meet Miss Sally Wood.
Hello.
How do you do, Miss Wood?
Great galaxy.
I beg your pardon.
A space doll covered with stardust.
What?
You'll have to excuse Cadet Manning, ma'am. A beautiful girl always sends in into a spin.
Oh, I thank you.
Manning, Corbett, if I can have your attention for just a moment.
Oh, Sorry, sir.
Yes, sir. Miss Wood is the daughter of Harvey Wood. You probably recognize the name.
You mean the famous spaceship designer, sir?
Well, you've heard of Dad?
Oh, who hasn't? He's designed some of the best spaceships in the Solar Alliance.
Well, Miss Wood is on her way back to Earth, to Polar City. She has a large sum of money aboard her space yacht, the Cosmia, and she has requested a solar guard detail to protect her.
Captain Willett told me you cadets were detached from your ship temporarily.
That's right, Miss Wood.
Well, then, if you have no other plan.
This detail is purely voluntary on your part, boys.
You mean you're asking us if we want to escort Miss Wood, sir?
And that's about the size of it, Manning. What do you say?
I say, how soon can we raise ships, sir? Say, that's a beautiful bracelet you're wearing, Sally. Not a present from an admirer, I hope.
Well, in a way, yes, Roger. My father gave it to me.
Well, your father? Oh, you had me worried for a minute. This is a mighty nice ship, Miss Wood.
Oh, thanks, Tom. You can't imagine how relieved I feel to have you two aboard. I just can't thank you enough.
The only thing I'm sorry about, Sally, is that you're only going to Polar City. Why couldn't you be on your way to Titan, or maybe out to Pluto?
Pluto? That's so far away.
Yeah, I know.
Does Roger always act this way, Tom?
Oh, don't pay any attention to him. He's just a wolf in a spacesuit. Hey, look, Tom, why don't you go up forward and guard something? Anything. The way I see it, Miss Wood needs a guard right now. Say, Sally, Captain Willett said something about you having a lot of money aboard. Is that the only reason you wanted us to come along?
Well, we are carrying over 1 million credits, and I'm not sure I can trust every member of the crew.
Oh, don't you worry your beautiful head about the crew. Tom and I will take care of everything. You don't have long to worry anyhow. We're already starting to decelerate. We're getting close to Earth.
Yes, I can feel it. Funny, it never affected me quite this way before. I feel just a little dizzy.
Yeah. So do I, come to think of it. No girl ever made me feel like this before. Say, my head's really beginning to spin.
You suppose something could have happened to the oxygen supply?
Roger, we better check the gauges. I can't, Tom. I can't seem to move. Neither can I, Roger. Tom, get up. Don't blank out now. Tom, you've got it.
We'll return to the exciting adventures of Tom Corbett, Space Cadet, in just a moment, so stand by. Blast off power. That's what you get in Kellogg's Pep. Get blast off power. Start your day with hearty Kellogg's Pep. Pep gives you the kind of hard-hitting food energy you need to rock it off into a busy day. It's the cereal the cadets at Space Academy call for when there's action ahead. And Pep supplies you with essential vitamins, too. You get vitamin B1 and a whole day's supply of vitamin D in every serving. No wonder spacemen head for the breakfast table and pour out a big helping of Pep every morning. It's Kellogg's Pep for Blast Off Power. And say, just wait till you taste that keen whole wheat and malt flavor. You'll be reaching for second helpings every time. Kellogg's Pep with milk and sugar is a great way to start the day. When you fill up a bowl full and dig in, you want to travel at full space speed right through to the last bite. Astro, Roger, Tom, and all the cadets say the same thing. For swell eating and blast off food power, it's Kellogg's Pep. So start your day the spaceman's way. Ask Mom to get the cereal that gives you more builder-upper food values than any other wheat flake. Ask Mom to get Kellogg's Pep. P-E-P. Pep. Volunteering to serve as an escort for Miss Sally Wood, the pretty daughter of Harvey Wood, a noted spaceship designer, Tom and Roger blasted toward Earth in the space yacht Cosmia, carrying over 1 million credits. Nearing Earth, however, the two cadets and Sally suddenly began to feel dizzy, and one after the other collapsed to the deck, unconscious. Now, several hours later, Tom slowly begins to waken. He looks around, groggily, then sits bolt upright. Seeing Roger lying next to him, he begins to shake his friend violently.
Come on, Roger. Snap out of it.
Oh, my head.
Wake up, will you?
Huh? Hey, where are we, Tom?
I don't know. I just came to myself.
Say, we're not on the ship anymore. We're in a room. Looks like a hotel room.
Well, there's a window. I'll have a look.
Well?
Roger, we're in Polar City.
How in blazes did we get here? And say, where's Sally?
I don't know. I don't remember a thing after we started to decelerate, except we all started to get dizzy.
Wait a minute. There's a facsimile paper over there in that teleceiver. Maybe we can find out what day it is, at least.
Good idea. Great jumping Jupiter.
What is it, Tom?
Well, listen to this bulletin. Space yacht Cosmia, out of Luna Base, crashed near here this morning.
Crashed?
Yeah. According to Polar City Spaceport Traffic Control, the Cosmia reported that it was entering atmosphere and preparing for a routine landing. The space yacht failed to report again, and nothing was heard until an hour later, when the wreckage was found on the outskirts of Polar City. Investigators found all controls on automatic. Several crew members have already been identified. Still unaccounted for are Miss Sally Wood and Cadets Tom Corbett and Roger Manning.
Wait, Tom. Another bulletin's coming through on the teleceiver.
Yeah, maybe more about the crack-up. Read it.
Special extra. Space Cadets Tom Corbett and Roger Manning were reported seen in Polar City a short time after the crash of the space yacht Cosmia. The authorities believe that the space yacht may have been crashed deliberately to cover the theft of 1 million credits the ship was carrying. All law enforcement agencies are alerted to apprehend these fugitives at all costs.
But that's crazy. They've blown their jet.
They sure have. We can prove we didn't have anything to do with that crash.
Well, where's the audio phone? We've got to call the Solar Guard headquarters. Hey.
What's the matter, Tom? What are you staring at?
Roger, look over there in that corner.
Huh? By all the moons of Jupiter.
They're stolen credits. They've been planted right here in this room.
It's not all here, Tom. Only a few thousand credits.
It's enough to pin the robbery on us, Roger. This money in our possession is just as good as a conviction.
I know. We're not only thieves, but murderers. We're in one sweet jam.
We must have been gassed on board the Cosmia. Then somebody brought us to this hotel and left the credits here to make us look guilty.
Hey, you're not saying that Sally framed us.
Well, somebody did.
No, I can't believe it was Sally. If she wasn't killed in the crash, she can clear us.
She can? Well, look at this. I found it on the floor under one of the suitcases with the money in it.
Why, it's a bracelet.
Uh-huh, the one Sally was wearing on board the Cosmia.
And she was here in this room.
Let's face the facts, Roger. That girl framed us and then tipped off the authorities.
But why, Tom? It just doesn't make any sense.
Never mind that now. We've got to get out of here.
Yeah, and then what? We can't turn ourselves into the Solar Guard until we found Sally. She's the only one who can clear us.
Well, if you've got any bright ideas, spill them.
All I know is if we walk out of this hotel in our Space Cadet uniforms, the first officer we meet would either arrest us or shoot us on sight.
Well, it's a cinch we can't walk out of here in our underwear.
Well, looks like it's either the frying pan or the fire. So come on, let's try the fire.
Right. Take a look first, Roger. Make sure the hull is clear.
Don't worry.
Well?
Yeah, it's okay.
Hey, get back, quick. What's the matter? The police?
No, a brake finally.
What are you talking about?
Look what's coming down the hall. The hotel valet, and he's pulling a rack of clothes with him.
Jumping Jupiter.
There are at least 4 suits hanging on it. What color do you prefer, Tom?
Oh, I don't care. I'd wear orange with purple stripes to get out of this.
You'll be wearing stripes if we don't get out of this, Buster. Quiet now. He's going to pass right outside the door.
How are you going to work this?
I have long arms, pal. Just watch.
Did you get them?
Take a look, Junior. We're a couple of civilians again.
Great. Now, come on. Let's get out of this hotel.
Well, we made it.
Yeah. I think we're safe now, Roger. We can relax for a minute.
Well, where can we go, though? They'll be looking for us all over the city.
We've got to take time out and make some plans.
Tom, I hate to bring this up right now, but I'm so blasted hungry I can't think straight.
Yeah, me too. Well, come on. There's an auto restaurant on the corner. Let's go in and eat.
I guess we'll be as safe in there as any place else.
Hey, wait a minute. I just remembered. We haven't any money.
No? What do you call this?
Hey, where did you get all those credits?
I picked up a handful when we left the hotel room. Did you think we could run all over Polar City with our pockets empty?
But those credits don't belong to us.
So we borrowed them. We'll make it up from our pay if we ever get reinstated.
Well, that's a big if. But I guess we haven't any choice.
Now you're talking. Come on, let's put on the feedback. That's what I call a real dinner.
Yeah. How about dessert, Roger?
Match. Let's see. What's Venusian surprise, I wonder?
Try it. Press the button.
Okay. Oh, how do you like that? Rice pudding. Some surprise.
Stop kicking and dig in. We've got to get rolling.
Yeah, where?
I don't know, but we've got to figure out some way to pull ourselves out of this mess. We can't duck the Solar Guard forever.
If we could only get hold of Captain Strong, he'd believe our story.
He couldn't do much for us unless we can find out how we were framed and why.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
I beg your pardon, gentlemen.
Huh? What do you want?
I'm the manager of this restaurant.
Yes?
Are these your credits, gentlemen?
Well, let's see. Why, yes, we dropped those in the slot when we ordered dinner number 4.
I see. I'm sorry to have disturbed you. Excuse me.
Say, what was that all about?
Roger, we've been space-happy idiots.
Huh?
The credits. The manager must have had a list of the serial numbers. In the automatic credit register, we did ours out.
Uh-oh, let's get out of here.
There they are, officer. Take the lead.
Come on, Roger. He's brought the Solar Guard.
Then get away.
We're cut off from the front, Tom.
Through this back door. Hurry. This street's clear, Roger.
Thank Jupiter. I was about ready to give up.
Well, this settles it. We've got to get out of Polar City.
Good idea. But how?
We'll work our way over to the spaceport. Maybe we can stow away on a southbound jet.
Okay, Tom, it's worth a try. If we stay here, we'll get the work. There goes a jet, Tom. I sure wish we were on it.
So do I. We've got to watch our step, though. If a guard spots us before we can get aboard one of them, we're lost.
There's a ship taxiing down this way now. Maybe that's our answer.
Well, I don't know. It's a small private job. I'd rather take a chance on a big passenger liner.
Personally, I'll settle for anything at this point.
Well, okay. It's moving to the takeoff line. Now watch for a chance.
Tom, look who's sitting next to the pilot of that ship.
Great galaxy. Am I seeing things?
It's Sally Wood.
There's our answer, Roger. She framed us.
Then she's going to do an about face and clear us. Come on, let's get on that ship before it takes off. Never mind. Too late to catch her now. There she goes.
Yeah, and there goes our only chance to clear ourselves.
We'll return to the exciting adventures of Tom Corbett, Space Cadet, in just a moment, so stand by. Spaceman, Kellogg's Pep, the cereal that brings you these exciting Space Cadet adventures, now gives you a chance to collect detailed picture cutouts of your favorite Space Cadets. Right now at your grocery store, each and every regular-sized package of Kellogg's Pep has a special Space Cadet picture cutout right on the back of the package. All you have to do is cut it out and set it up in your own Space Cadet setting. You can get a picture of Astro, or Tom Corbett, Roger Manning in a spacesuit, Dr. Joan Dale in the official Space Academy dress uniform. You want to get all 4 Space Cadet picture cutouts, and it's easy to do. Nothing to mail, no box tops to send in. Your picture comes right on the back of every regular-sized package of Kellogg's Pep. And that's not all. Right inside that package of Kellogg's Pep, you're going to find the best-tasting wheat cereal you ever rustled into your cereal bowl. Just heat those golden flakes up high. Cover them over with milk and sugar. Man, when you taste a spoonful of that delicious whole wheat and malt flavor, you'll call for second helpings right on the spot. So don't forget, ask Mom to get Kellogg's Pep as soon as you can. For a swell build-up cereal with Space Cadet picture cutouts on the back of every package, it's Kellogg's Pep. P-E-P. Pep. Accused of stealing 1 million credits and hunted by the Solar Guard, Tom and Roger reached the Polar City spaceport only to see Sally Wood take off in a small jet ship for parts unknown. With Sally goes all their hope of being cleared of larceny and murder.
Well, she's gone, Tom, and we're sunk.
Blasted, I'd give anything to catch up with that girl.
No chance of that now.
Hey, there is, Roger.
What are you pointing at?
Look, there in the next hangar.
A Solar Guard jet.
The fastest ship in the air. We could overhaul Sally's jet even with the start she's got.
Steady your gyros, Tom. We can't steal a Solar Guard jet. They'd shoot us down before we got to the takeoff line.
Why? We know the recognition signals. And there's no one guarding the ship right now.
Say, we might get away with it at that.
We've got to. Pile aboard, Roger. We've lost too much time already.
Can't you get any more speed out of this crate, Tom?
She's wide open, Roger. Did you track them on the radar yet?
We're picking up something. Yeah, it's coming in clear now. It's Sally's ship, all right.
What's the range?
About 15 miles.
Oh, we'll catch them then. Better check the forward guns.
Where were we when you took the last bearing?
Over Central America. I figure they must be heading for somewhere in the vicinity of Amazon City.
Hey, Tom, we're overtaking them fast.
Right. Stand by. I can see them up ahead.
I'm all set.
We've got the altitude on them. I'll come in on a glide. We'll be on them before they even know we're here.
All right, but level off when we get close range to 1,000 yards. I want to put a blast in their left wing jet. That should force them to land.
Okay, you say when. We're in the glide now.
We're closing in fast. Watch it now. They're veering to the left.
I see them. Are you ready to fire?
Another 100 yards. I don't want to miss. Steady now. Okay, level off.
Right. Let them have it.
How's that for shooting?
Bullseye. They're losing altitude.
Look, they're going to set down that clearing up ahead.
Yeah, I'm with them.
There they go. They're landing.
Hang on, pal. We're going in ourselves. And let's hope there's room for both of us in that little clearing.
Nice landing, Tom. Now, let's nail them.
Look, Roger. Those two men from Sally's jets. They're escaping into the jungle.
Never mind them. Sally's the one we're after.
Ah, she must still be in the ship. Come on. Okay, Miss Wood. Come out of there.
Tom, Roger. Back here in the cargo compartment.
There she is, Roger.
Hey, she's all tied up.
I'm so glad you found me. I hoped and prayed you'd realize what happened when I left my bracelet in your room.
We realized what happened. You tried to frame us.
No, never. I wanted you to know I was still alive, that I hadn't been killed in the crash.
What? Boy, when you make up stories, they're pips.
You've got to believe me. Those two men, they kidnapped me. They were holding me as a hostage, and they tried to pin it on you. That's why they left money behind.
Yeah, and why would they be holding you as a hostage? Hostage for what?
My father. He's just completed the plans for a new long-range interstellar rocket ship. They want the plans. Please, if you'll just take these ropes off, I'll tell you the whole story.
Go ahead, Roger. This is beginning to make sense now.
Okay. Hold still, Sally.
Thank you.
But keep talking. Start from the beginning.
Well, there isn't much to tell. I didn't ask for an escort just for the money. That wasn't important.
1,000,000 credits?
The plans I carried were worth 100 times as much, Roger. As a matter of fact, those two men left the money behind. See it there in the back of the compartment.
Hey, what do you know? We're rich again.
But what about the plans?
They have them.
Oh, why would you be carrying important plans?
My father knew these men were after them. He hoped to throw them off the track by having me take them to Earth.
And those two space crawlers found out.
Yes, somehow. They drugged our food on the Cosmia, landed the ship, took us off, then set the automatic controls for blast-off again. Of course it crashed.
Then they took us to the hotel to frame us.
That's right. I came to while we were there. That's when I left the bracelet. I heard them talking by audio tele with their leader, a man named Wayne Anders. He has a huge estate not far from Amazon City. That's where they were taking me.
Why? If they got the plans, they didn't...
Anders wanted to hold me to force my father to give him more information.
Well, what about us, Sally? We're still wanted for murder, you know.
Well, I'll go back to Polar City with you right now. Please don't worry. When I tell my story, you'll be completely clear.
Say, Roger, I've been thinking. If we take off for Polar City now, we'll be giving those men the time they need to get away with those plans.
Yeah, and since we're already down here...
Oh, boys, if we could only get those papers back.
You can count on us, Sally.
Oh, wait a minute, though. Just in case anything should happen to us, don't you think you'd better get in touch with your commanding officer at Space Academy and tell him everything?
She's right, Roger. Let's get back to our jet and pipe this information through to Captain Strong.
Okay, we'll send it in code, just to make sure Anders and his men don't tumble to our plan.
Good idea. As long as we're still considered fugitives, we can move in as undercover agents.
Fine. Now, Sally, where did we leave off?
What?
Oh, yeah, I remember. I was just starting to tell you about what a sweet little doll you are. Your hair is like moonlight. Your eyes are like stars.
Don't miss the next action-packed adventure with Tom Corbett, Space Cadet, on Thursday. when Tom and Roger begin a search for a murderer, but find themselves hopelessly trapped in the jungle in Part 2 of The Escort of Death. Tune in, same time, same station for the next thrilling interplanetary adventure with Tom Corbett, Space Cadet.
Brought to you by Kellogg's Pep, the Build-Up Wheat Cereal.
Spaceman, this is Tom Corbett. We can help the thousands of families who lost their homes during the Midwest floods by giving to the Red Cross. Please give what you and your parents can to the Red Cross.
Tom Corbett, Space Cadet, starring Frankie Thomas, can also be seen on television and appears in the comic sections of many of America's leading newspapers. Look for it daily and in weekend editions. Featured in the cast were Jan Merlin, Rosemary Rice, and Frank Butler. Today's program was written by Gilbert Braun and directed by Drex Hines. Jackson Begg speaking.
Kellogg's Raisin Bran has a secret. Kellogg's Raisin Bran has a secret. And what a secret. In Kellogg's Raisin Bran, the tasty raisins are dipped in honeycomb. That means plumper, more tender raisins along with delicious golden crisp bran flakes. Both fruit and cereal all in one box. And no other raisin bran but Kellogg's gives you the tender goodness of raisins dipped in honeycomb. That's Kellogg's secret. So for your breakfast, make sure you get Kellogg's, because Kellogg's Raisin Bran has a secret.
This program came from New York. America is sold on ABC, the American Broadcasting.
Finding life rather dull, dreaming again of exotic places, wishing you were somewhere else. We offer you Escape.
Escape with us now to the Western Pacific and the story of a man trapped by the terror of another man's insane dream, as Millard Kaufman tells it in his exciting story, The Island.
The problem was, what could I do with Robert Lacey? You happen to have a dream book handy with all the charts and categories precisely arranged in alphabetical order? In it you'll find a dream for loneliness about girls in soft summery dresses. You'll find a dream for hunger, a 2-pound steak perhaps smothered all over with lamb chops. There are dreams for the traveler of a hometown far away and long ago. But find me a dream of a place you've never seen, a place that doesn't exist. Awake or asleep, that was Lacey's dream. Corporal Robert Lacey, 2nd Battalion, 4th Marines. A harmless enough dream, I guess, and not to be taken seriously. Or so it seemed until that night when Lacey's dream became my problem. May it was, 1945. In a little wood on Okinawa. Where are we, anyhow?
Oh, a couple of 3 miles behind the Jap lines.
So how safe is that?
You worry too much, pal. Even for a guy on his first patrol.
I've been thinking of it as my last.
Relax like me. You'll live forever.
What's that?
Yeah, it's nothing. Just a screaming Mimi.
I'm a pushover for that Schrecklichkeit stuff.
Schrecklichkeit? Well, what kind of jive's that?
Means terror. Frightfulness. The Germans got a whole arsenal of terror weapons.
Yeah, well, the Japs got a few themselves. Hey, what do you say we sack in, huh?
Here?
That's as good as the next place.
What a lash-up. 3 miles behind Jap lines.
Got no more chance getting back tonight than crawling through the hole in a lifesaver. Get knocked off if we try. You take it first watch. I'm going to sack in.
You going to sleep?
Oh, my. Oh, maybe I'll just sit down here and do a little dreaming for a while.
You're sure picking a fine time for it.
Did I ever tell you about my island?
Yeah, you told me.
Well, there's this island, see?
You must have told me 50, 60 times in the past month.
Well, I'm going to tell you again. This island, it's a sort of a special place. There's no rain, and no jungle rot, no war. Just a quiet, cozy spot where a man can lay down under a banyan tree and live off the fat of the land.
There is no such place.
On this island, a man would never go hungry. All you got to do is fish a little bit with the natives, and they'll all be big men, and they'll be friendly, not like the nips. And all the women will be beautiful.
You read too many comic books.
Yeah, that's where I'm fixing to go as soon as I find it. Never gonna go back stateside. Just gonna lay down under that little old banyan tree.
I'll let him rave on. What else could I do? Argue with him?
Maybe fish a little?
There I was, 3 miles deep in enemy lines with a stranger.
There.
His eyes narrowed in a 1,000-yard stare. His rush of words like a nervous twitch. He raved on about a place that don't exist. Big men and beautiful women.
Real pretty. Different, you know? Like nothing you ever saw.
I found myself listening sort of hypnotized. And I learned something about Corporal Lacey and what combat weariness means.
They're different.
He'd foraged too long among the rotten, bomb-scarred pebbles of the Pacific.
Men all got
He'd seen too much death, too many crack-ups. He himself was half-cracked and slightly dead, barely held together by the taut and twisted wires of his dream. So what could I do? Argue with him?
I'm gonna eat roast wild pig and pineapple and bat the breeze with the people. And there's gonna be cattle on the island, too. I'm gonna find me a beautiful girl and the burn.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Look, the burn. Out there. Coming toward us. No, over there. About 2 o'clock, you see it?
Bunch of them.
No, not a bunch, just 4. 3 men and a woman.
They're heading right for us.
Hey, put down that rifle.
What's the matter? You flip or something?
They're not Japs. Men are too big. It's funny, though. Woman with them.
Maybe his eyes were better than mine, but how could I trust that brain of his, all festered with dreaming?
I tell you, they're not Japs. That woman's beautiful.
If I had only listened to Lacey then, if I had only known. But Japs or no Japs, I was taking no chances. I raised my rifle and...
Knock it off, you jerk. You hit the woman.
Lacey, where are you going?
I'm going to see if she's hurt bad. Now, come on.
Don't go, Lacey. You know the Japs. It might be a trick.
Don't worry about me. Will you let go of my arm?
Get yourself killed.
Not me, DeBory. I'll live to spit in your grave. Now, let go of me.
Okay, I hope you know what you're doing. I just don't want to get involved in your cockamamie dreams.
Dreams? It's no dream, DeBory. You'll find out.
Okay, Lacey. So where is she?
That's funny. Must be around here somewhere. Maybe she did.
What's that?
It's coming from over there. Come on. Now, Here she is. She's scared of us. It's all right, lady.
Go away. Go away.
No, we ain't gonna hurt you, lady.
I hurt you. I hurt you.
Maybe she's on. No, she's bluffing. Break out your first aid kit. Here. That's a boy. No, look, lady. Let me fix your arm, huh? See? We got bandages and adhesive tape and penicillin.
She don't get what you're talking about.
She gets the idea, all right. That's right, lady. Nah, it's not going to hurt you a little bit. There. And we put it around there. You just got nicked a little, that's all. Just a flesh wound.
She trusts you.
Yeah. She trusts me more than you do. Did I tell you she was beautiful?
You told me a lot of things. How about the men she was with, the big men?
She was with them and they weren't Japs.
Not Japs in a pig's eye, not Japs.
No. No, they're not Japs.
Yeah, there, you see?
And what were they?
They were, how you say, my people.
Well, who are you? What are you? What's your name?
Name Taki. I know can't say in English, but please go away. Please, you go away fast.
I know you scared her again. No, it's going to be all right, Taki. Everything's going to be all right. You just come on with us.
No, I go home. Must go home.
So go home. Scram. Lose yourself.
Oh, no, you don't.
Let her alone.
I say you keep out of this.
And let her go. Let her get back to her rice paddies.
You still don't catch Tabori. She ain't from Okinawa. She's from that island I was telling you about.
Look, Lacey, I don't care if she's from Mars.
I'm not from Mars.
No kidding.
Also, I'm not from Okinawa.
What?
I'm from Yagachi Shima.
Shima? There, you see? Shima means an island.
Yes, island.
Then what are you doing here?
I do not know. The Japanese brought us in canoe.
She's crazier than you are. Whoever hit her.
Shut up. Taki, where is your island? Where is Yagachi?
In east, in China Sea.
Yeah?
A half day from Okinawa by canoe.
Canoe?
What's it like, Taki? What's your island like?
Never mind the island. Let's find a canoe. Don't you see, Lacey? With the canoe, we can get back to our lines by water.
Yeah, I think maybe you got something there.
Taki, can you find the canoe?
I think I can.
Then let's go. She led us on through the wood. A lopsided moon came up, and its ray filtered through the clouds and down through the jagged trees. In the moonlight, she was like one of those porcelain figurines. Delicate, with a peculiar tint to her skin, unlike anything I'd ever seen before. The shade of waxed ivory, ancient ivory. Her hair was long and black and drawn tight over her head. She was straight and slim, and she walked with dignity. She was beautiful. As beautiful as a dream. Lacey's dream. But dreams don't come true, not like this. Yet here she was, just the way he described her. And the three men in the island. I couldn't figure it out. And just then I hadn't the time because... Lacey, listen to that. What?
Yeah. Well, come on.
Taki led us down a slope to the water. There were canoes. And leaning against the prow were two sentries. They were safe, they thought. 3 miles behind their line, snug as 2 bugs in a mosquito net. They were so safe they didn't know what... Get 'em!
Taki, get in the canoe. Okay, you push us off the berry.
Yeah.
Come on. That's the boy. All right, you take a bow. Sit down, Taki. Where to? Straight out in the channel. You know what I think, Tabori? I think we're going to make it. Oh. Okay, Labori. We can take it easy now.
I'm not taking it easy until we cross our perimeter.
Yeah? Well, just how you going to tell at night? With your Zippo lighter?
Oh, lay off.
Maybe you think I got neon signs, huh?
Well, maybe we'll see a landmark or something.
Yeah. Well, the trouble is distance isn't fool you at night. We're liable to paddle into a platoon of nips.
What do we do, Lacey?
Well, we'll stand by till morning and head for our convoy. We'll ride ashore in style on an LST.
I don't know. I think it'd be better...
Well, look, whatever you think, you were outvoted. You've outvoted 2 straps to 1.
Pulling rank, Corporal?
Why not, knucklehead? This ship's got 1 skipper, and I'm it.
You are.
If I want any stuff out of you, I'll knock it out of you. I'm warning you, don't foul up this detail.
So what was I going to do? Argue with him? Start a private firefight in the middle of the China Sea? I was getting a little combat weary myself. Lacey, he was all charged up as though his crazy dream had come true. Lying on the narrow deck of the canoe, I could hear Lacey. The more I heard, the more confused I got.
And it's not like the other islands, is it, Tucky?
It's different. Yogachi.
Yeah.
I wish I could tell you how.
Oh, I know. It's pretty, huh?
It's very pretty, but...
Is the fishing good?
It's good. And we have pigs.
Yeah? Cows?
Good cows.
Oh, I knew it.
Cows and pigs. And Lacey getting all hopped up about them. That's the last thing I remembered. I guess I fell asleep. And then suddenly it was daylight.
Tabori! Hey, look, Tabori.
What?
Look, over there. What do you see?
An island. Just an island.
It's not just an island. That's my island.
What's so special about it?
Well, look at it. See, it's surrounded by mist, just like I said.
Tell it to the troops when we get back to Okinawa.
Stand by for a ram, Tabori. We ain't going back to Okinawa.
Now, wait a minute.
I don't want any more trouble out of you.
Then don't make any, or I'll... Where?
You looking for your rifle? Well, don't bother. Because I got it right here. Now, you get up forward.
You're crazy.
Move! You know, you're flirting with a Purple Heart. That's the boy. All right, now lean on that paddle. That's right. We're heading for Yogachi.
Escape, under the direction of Norman MacDonald, returns in just a moment. Motorists, the next time you put your foot down on the accelerator, tread easy. Remember that excess speed is the cause of most highway accidents. And pedestrians, the next time you start to cross the street between intersections, stop and think. Crossing between intersections is the most dangerous thing you can do. Whether walking or driving, be careful. The life you save may be your own. And now, back to Escape.
Straight to Coral Beach at Yogachi about 4 hours later. It was a lovely island with terraced hills and patches of tilled soil checkering the greenery.
Well, here we are. Seeing's believing, huh, Tabori?
Funny. So close to Okinawa, and this place looks like it never heard a shot fired in anger.
Where are your people, Taki?
Long way over here. But you must not come. You go back now.
Oh, no, not me. I'm sticking around. How about you, Tabori?
You came this far, I'll sweat it out just for the laugh.
You're going to laugh on the wrong side of your face.
What do you mean?
Just a figure of speech, Taki. Let's go. So there I was, caught up in Lacey's dream when all the time I should have taken off at high port for Okinawa. I should have known better, but I didn't. And what you don't know can hurt you. Plenty.
Hey, look. Look at that cow.
Could eat her down to the hooves.
Oh, I tell you, I'm going to live off the fat of the land.
The trail snaked upward. Pine trees and casuarinas rattled in the sweet, strong wind from the China Sea. Their cones lay along the footpath, and in the fields were raspberry bushes. There were lilies in the sword grass and scarlet flowers. All very nice, I suppose, but I was looking for people. The big men of Lacey's dream. The girls all as lovely as the girl beside us. I was tense with expectancy at each bend in the trail, but Lacey's tensions had vanished. He lost them because he'd found Taki.
Robert Lacey.
Oh, Taki. My name's Lacey. Now try it again.
Lacey.
Lacey. L, like in, this is a lily. You are a lady?
You're loco.
Tabori, I'm going to slug you.
You're so funny, Lacey, when you're mad.
Oh, you laugh nice, Taki.
It is first time in 5 years. It is first time I happy.
Maybe you was waiting for me to make you happy. Like I was waiting for you.
What do you mean, Lacey?
Well, I mean... Here. This is for you.
Why you give me flower?
I love you, Taki.
No, you cannot.
But why?
You don't know. I don't know how to say, but you don't know me.
Oh, I know you. I've been dreaming about you for 2 years. I always knew I'd find you.
I never forget what you say.
I'll never let you forget.
Oh, Lacey.
Lacey, honey. L like in love.
They walked on together, the tall Marine and the slim girl with the ivory skin, with the flower in her hand. Now and then she'd look at the flower, and then she'd look at Lacey, and a pained expression clouded her face as though she didn't understand. But I did. The loneliness, the weariness, the refuge in a dream. Very soon now that dream would burst like a bubble or become reality. I had to find out.
Man, what a climb.
Be easier for you if you give me back my rifle.
Now, don't you worry about me. I'll get back.
Hey, we got it licked. There's the sun. Yeah.
It is highest point on Yogachi. See, down there, far away in valley.
Hey, look. Look at them.
They my people.
I told you they were big men.
How can you tell from this to...
Well, look how broad they are.
Funny how they're all in a bunch. Hey, listen.
Yeah. Maybe it's a sort of a ceremony or something, huh?
It is.
Maybe it's for us. I bet you know we're coming.
No. It is for death.
What happened, you suppose? The war?
The war not here. It's my people die.
Everybody's people die. It's got to happen sooner or later.
Yes. Sooner or later.
It's like I always say, here today, gone tomorrow.
I never heard it so well put.
Oh, drop dead.
Dry up. Let's go, Taki. We went down the mountainside, down to a cape that jutted into the Pacific like a gnarled finger of doom. Far away we saw a village. We headed toward it through the sunless gorge. At the far end was a thatched hut.
It looks like it's empty, as any fool could see.
You wait here. I come back soon with head man. He speak English good.
You gonna stay here with me Tavori?
No, Lacey. I just want one good look at your big men and beautiful women in their native habitat. Then I'm off for Okinawa.
You still want proof, huh?
Yeah. There's something strange about this place. I want to know what it is.
It's not strange. It's just different, like I said.
You're all fouled up in a dream, Lacey. I'm not sure what it's all about, but I gotta find out. It'll drive me crazy the rest of my life.
You mean crazy like me?
I didn't say that.
Since we left Okinawa, you've been giving me a bad time.
It was mutual.
Now you call me crazy.
I know what I said.
I know what you think. And I know what you'll do. Once you get back to Okinawa, you'll tell the MPs I went over the hill. You'll tell them where I am. And they'll come after me.
You are crazy.
I'm just crazy enough to make sure you keep your trap shut. You remember, Tabori, I said I'd be around to spit in your grave?
Lacey, stop kidding around with that rifle.
I ain't kidding. I'm going to kill you.
No question about it. He wasn't kidding. He slid back the bolt of his rifle and it sprang forward, a cartridge in the chamber.
I'm going to kill you, Tabori. But first, you're going to see I was right. I want to see the expression on that smart-aleck face of yours when you admit it. And then I'm going to kill you. Now get back in that corner. And keep your mouth shut. You the head man?
I suppose you could call me that.
His name, Hiroshi.
What can I do for you?
Well, I want to stay here. With Taki.
I'm afraid you can't.
Well, I'll work my way, you know that.
That is not the point. You cannot...
Look, I don't want no arguments out of you.
You cannot stay.
Well, why can't I?
She is a leper.
She's so beautiful.
I know, son. But in 3 years, 5 years...
Taki? I'm sorry, Taki.
So am I tried to tell you, but I don't know how. And then I could not, even if I want to. I wanted to last one more hour, one more minute.
They stood there facing each other, the tall Marine and the girl with the ivory skin with the flower still in her hand, the flower already beginning to wilt.
Goodbye, Gracie.
Goodbye.
Thank you for the flower.
That's all right.
I never forget you.
I won't forget either. It was like a dream come true. For a while it was.
Goodbye.
Hiroshi, what's this all about?
It is quite simple. 2 nights ago, the Japanese came to the leper colony. They took more than half my patients to Okinawa, headed toward the American lines.
Why?
To disrupt your advance. There was no chance of contagion, but, well, my patients aren't all as lovely as Taki.
I see. Schrecklichkeit.
Exactly. A weapon of terror.
Tabori?
Yeah, Lacey?
I guess we better move on, huh? Are you ready, pal?
Yeah. Long road back to Okinawa.
For me, the road back is longer than that.
Under the direction of Norman MacDonald, Escape has brought you The Island by Millard Kaufman, starring Harry Bartell and Bill Conrad with Michael Ann Barrett and Edgar Barrier. The special music for Escape is composed and conducted by Leith Stevens.
Next week, escape with us to the most evil city in the Orient, and the story of a beautiful but unscrupulous woman who ruled it, as Herb Purdom tells it in his exciting tale, Macau.
He's coming up next on most of these same CBS stations. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. You want to hear every exciting minute of the Fairway matter in which 13 die when one man is marked for murder. It's one of Johnny Dollar's most exciting insurance investigations in which he turns in a masterful expense account as well as masterful deduction. Stay tuned for yours truly, Johnny Dollar, next on most of these same CBS stations.
Wheat checks, rice checks, and good hot Ralston present Space Patrol! High adventure in the wild, vast reaches of space. Missions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. Travel into the future with Buzz Corey, Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol! And now, today's exciting Space Patrol adventure, Return to Planet X. A blasted heap of rubble. That's all that remains of the camouflaged launching base on Jupiter Moon number 4, aiming point from which Prince Baccarati planned to hurl guided missiles across 500,000 miles of space to destroy 2 key cities on the planet Jupiter. Last week, we learned how Commander Corey and Cadet Happy arrived just in time to blast the missile chutes and control blockhouse to bits with a space torpedo from the Terra 5. It's now a few moments later. Buzz and Happy have landed on Moon number 4, while the last grains of dust from the explosion are falling swiftly to the surface of the airless satellite. Wearing spacesuits and carrying portable disintegrators, they cautiously approach the shattered structure.
Take it easy, Hap. Don't go charging into that mess.
Okay, Commander. But you don't think anybody can still be alive in that wreckage?
I think we've learned not to take anything for granted where Baccarati is concerned. Whoever was in that control station may have been wearing a spacesuit.
You're right.
This looks like a chunk of control panel, huh? Let's get to work with the disintegrators.
Yes, sir.
Remember, if there's someone alive under this masonry, we want to keep them that way. So don't blast too deep with the disintegrator. Just reduce the chunks of concrete to a size we can lift.
Yes, sir. Nothing under that chunk.
Try that one over there.
Many feet below the surface of the moon, right under where Buzz and Happy are searching for survivors, Prince Baccarati and Dr. Malengo huddle in the corner of an underground room.
What was that?
I don't know, Your Highness.
Perhaps they have found a passage leading down to this escape tunnel. Go to the connecting door and investigate.
Very well, Your Highness.
Well, can you see through the peephole? Yeah, that's what I thought had happened.
Highness, wouldn't it be advisable now to go down to the other end of the passage to the spaceship?
There is no hurry. We can blast off until we're sure there's no space patrol ship watching this part of the moon. However, we can work our way down to the center of the tunnel.
Hold it, Happy. Turn it off.
What is it, Commander?
Now look at this. I found it near a piece of the control panel.
An electrode pin.
Yes, the pad of sensitized plastic with some computations on it.
What's an electrode pin? Somebody was here.
The pen has an emblem on it. Black Falcon.
Prince Baccarati.
Hap, look at the writing on this pad. We blew up this launching station just in time. At 1827 Universal Star Time, Baccarati was going to launch a guided missile to blow up Kepler City, Jupiter.
Oh, then he must have been ready to fire it just as we zoomed in.
The question now is, what happened to Baccarati?
Disintegrated enough of the wreckage to know he isn't here.
If he had escaped across the surface in a spacesuit, we surely would have spotted him.
Yeah?
And that leaves just one alternative. There must have been a trapdoor under the floor of the control blockhouse.
A sort of double protection. A cellar.
Probably more than that. Very likely there's an underground hangar that can be reached from this blockhouse through a tunnel.
And he may already be ready to blast off the moon.
Have you get back to work with the disintegrator and look for the entrance to the escape tunnel. I'll go back to the ship and call for a patrol squadron to watch the ready ships blasting off. Hap, how you doing?
I think I found it, Commander.
Let's have a look. You're right. That's the metal framework of a trapdoor.
Another short blast ought to clear the rest of the rubble away, sir.
Yes, there's a stairway. Bring your disintegrator, Hap. We may need it down there.
All right, Commander.
There's a metal door, Hap. Let's see if we can open it.
An airlock.
Get in and close the door, Hap. Let's check these indicators. Here's a gauge for passage air pressure. 0.8 atmosphere.
Then Baccarati wouldn't need a spacesuit inside the tunnel.
Right. We can open our faceplates after we open the inner door.
Better close the door behind us, Hap. Wow, what a tunnel. I wonder how far it goes. Possibly a couple of miles, perhaps more. Let's get going. We have quite a hike ahead of us. Durango, what's the matter with you? Stop pacing back and forth.
I'm sorry, Your Highness. I feel uneasy.
What about?
I don't know. I suppose it's being imprisoned in this tunnel.
What do you mean imprisoned? In a few minutes, we'll be in a spaceship on our way back to Planet X.
Of course, Your Highness, you're right. But suppose the Space Patrol does discover the hangar entrance to the tunnel. If they...
Stop manufacturing trouble. The hangar entrance is well camouflaged. The thing for us to do is plan what we're going to do when we get back to Planet X. Our number one project, of course, will be to get rid of Commander Corey.
It shall receive my entire attention, Your Highness.
Good. That will leave me free to solve our difficulties with our captive natives in the Arctic region of Planet X.
That has been worrying me, too. When we last left Planet X, they were on the verge of revolt.
We simply must keep those enduring mines in full production. Already I'm weeks behind in my timetable of conquest. There must be some way to terrify those natives into more effort.
It is unfortunate, Your Highness, that some of your own men, your guards and supervisors, are not cooperating as they should.
Listen. What's that?
Someone's in the tunnel. They've discovered our spaceship.
Wait, listen. Take a look through the door of this compartment toward the blockhouse end of the tunnel. See anything?
It's very dim, Excellency. I thought I saw some shadows.
Get away from the people. There is somebody in the tunnel. They just come through the door from the other compartment. Space patrolmen, obviously. Who else could they be?
For the rest of the ship?
Oh, let's finish them off. Get me a blast gun from the lock.
This tunnel line and twists so much. I've lost all sense of direction. Judging by the upward slope of the fall, we're not far from the end of it.
Hit the ground, Hap. It's a blast gun. Baccarati, see us.
Shot my body down. Coming at the disintegrator before he fires again.
I dropped it when I hit the floor, so it's out of reach. I'll get it. Get down, Hap. I'm back now, Corey. All I got to do is keep blasting away till I hit you.
We'll return to Space Patrol in just a moment. And now, gang, the most exciting news ever revealed on Space Patrol. News about a gigantic contest that's going to shake this planet like an earthquake. News about the biggest prize ever given away to any boy or girl. A prize that's going to rock you like a thundering explosion. And that prize is Commander Corey's own rocket ship. Yes, Space Patrollers, Commander Corey is actually giving away his great silver and scarlet spaceship, Chara 4, giving it away to some lucky boy or girl. Now, just imagine, a huge 10,000-pound all-metal spaceship, 35 feet long, almost as big as a house. And that's exactly what it is, a clubhouse on wheels. Now, just think, a rolling rocket clubhouse, especially equipped with lights, wheel sleeping bunks, space lockers, even a cooking stove, and a giant truck to pull it. Take you and your pals anywhere you want to go. Can't you just see yourself zooming down the road toward high adventure, headed out camping, hiking, on sightseeing trips aboard your rocket clubhouse on wheels? And here's something else you want to see, dollar bills. $1,500 bills. $1,500 that comes as first prize along with a rocket clubhouse. That's right, the first prize in this terrific contest is a gigantic rocket clubhouse and a real truck and $1,500. Now, that's what one of you Space Patrollers will win. Say, here comes Carol with something that 750 of you are going to win. Second prize, 750 Schwinn varsity bicycles.
Terrific fight, Space Patrollers. Schwinn, America's best, with 3-speed gear shift and 2-wheel handles.
And third prize, 1,000 third prizes, 1,000 pieces of regulation Space Patrol equipment, 250 autosonic rifles,
250 outer space helmets,
250 emergency kits,
and 250 beautiful Space Patrol wristwatches.
Now, Space Patrollers, it takes only one word to win Buzz Corey's rocket ship or a Schwinn bike or one of the 1,000 other swell prizes. Now, sit tight, because right after today's Space Patrol adventure, I'm going to tell you about the one word that can bring you the great rocket clubhouse rolling up to your home. And now, back to our Space Patrol adventure. Return to Planet X. Buzz and Happy are in a tunnel on the fourth moon of Jupiter, trying to overtake Prince Baccarati before he can escape from Planet X. Baccarati and Dr. Malengo have discovered the two Space Patrolmen. Through a compartment door in the tunnel, Baccarati is firing into a dim passageway with a blast gun. Lying flat on the floor near a stack of crates, Buzz and Happy so far have not been injured.
Well, that was close, Commander. You get a shield. Let's go. Roll to the right behind those crates. Hurry. There. If they only hadn't dropped that disintegrator, probably wouldn't hit Baccarati from this distance anyway.
Hurry! No use! I can't see you now, so you're probably behind a stack of crates. But that's not going to protect you.
Well, lucky I had this spacesuit helmet on, sir. That last shot clipped a chunk of crate right next to my head. Unless we think of something, Baccarati can just take his time and blast these crates away till he gets us. If we were only a little closer to him, we could rush him. Hey, maybe we could goad him into coming toward us. Not Baccarati. He doesn't take unnecessary chances. Here, this might do it. This big metal drum. Rocket fuel. Help me drag it out into the passage. But seriously, you can make the whole tunnel will blow up back there. Remember now, a full container of fuel is very heavy. Give me a hand. Yes, sir. But, sir, this is... Quiet. Better hold your fire, Baccarati.
Oh, you want to surrender, I suppose.
No, I'm just warning you. We're pushing a drum of rocket fuel out into the tunnel. Hit that with your blast gun, and you'll be shot through this tunnel like a torpedo through a space cannon.
You're bluffing. You'd be killed, too.
You're determined to finish us off anyway. Come on, Happy, push it out. Roll it toward Baccarati. Yes, sir. All right, Baccarati, go ahead and shoot.
You can stay in the tunnel.
He's given up, sir. He's locked the compartment. Stay behind the fuel drum, Hap. Roll it to the door. Yes, sir. I can shoot moving now. Get the disintegrator. Here's the disintegrator, sir. Give the door a blast. Yes, sir. Is something's wrong. It won't work.
Fall to the stone floor, probably broke the discharge mechanism.
Doggone, and now we'll have to go clear back to the other end of the tunnel for the other disintegrator.
By that time, Baccarati will probably have reached the spaceship. Let's get back to our ship, Happy.
Hey, Commander, I'd like to ask you something.
Sure, Hap.
Well, don't you feel well? I mean, do you feel weak or something?
No, why?
Well, that fuel one, I could have lifted it easily by myself. It was empty.
Sure it was, huh? Come on, let's hurry back to the ship. Meanwhile, Baccarati and Malengro have reached the other end of the tunnel where a small spaceship sits poised, its sharp nose almost touching the heavy metal gate that seals the entrance of the hangar. With a last glance down the tunnel, Baccarati climbs into the ship, followed by Malengro. Quickly, the prince presses a button that operates the remote control mechanism, and the huge gates slide back. Through the nose port, the two men look out into a black curtain of space dotted with bright, unwinking stars.
Put on the viewscope, Malengro. We'll see if any spaceships are out there before we blast off.
Yes, Your Highness.
We can't cover a very wide angle while we're still in the tunnel, but if it looks clear, we'll have to risk a blast off.
There are no patrol ships visible, Your Highness.
All right, we're blasting off. And I hope Corey managed to break through that compartment door back there. In fact, I hope he's right behind our ship when I cut on our rockets. Good. With our radar foil covered all, we can confuse their view scope. To contact my castle, Planet X, and report that I'm returned. Prince Baccarati calling Black Falcon Castle on Planet X. Prince Baccarati to number 1 tower. Report immediately.
Black Falcon Castle to Your Highness, Prince Baccarati. Murdoch speaking and awaiting your orders, sire.
I'm returning to Planet X in a Class D space cruiser. Alert the defense stations to expect my code signal at the outer perimeter.
Yes, Your Highness.
Do you have anything to report?
Well, yes, Your Highness. It's in regard to the Ajuria mine situation at the polar cap.
Well, let's have it, Murdoch.
Production in Mine Area 5 is at a complete standstill.
Standstill? Why?
There's been a large-scale revolt. 6 labor battalions refused to work.
That's against my law. Tell the supervisors to drive the ringleaders out into the ice cap without food or protective clothing.
Your Excellency. The supervisors, I regret to report this, sire, but the supervisors have sided with the slaves. They refuse to enforce that order.
That's unheard of. Refusing to obey the orders of Prince Baccarati. All right. If that's the way they're going to play, I'll wipe them all out. Turn on the atomic heat reflectors at Mine Area 5. Have the brazier. Do you understand? Turn them all like that. Turn on the heat reflectors. Put it in place and we'll do as they're told. I'll tolerate no insubordination. Is that clear? Yes, sir. Then obey. Prince Baccarati out.
That mass murdering rat. Baccarati is no that. He's the most dangerous psychopathic tyrant in the history of the solar system.
How are we going to prevent those mines from being flooded? If any of our ships go near Planet X, they'll be destroyed.
You'll maintain this distance from Baccarati's ship. Fortunately, we're close enough to detect his rocket blast, even with the radar foil producing interference in our viewscope.
If we close in on him now, we could capture him before any of his own ships could come to us.
But I want him to feel that he's perfectly safe until the last minute. We'll let him notify Planet X of his estimated arrival time, then we'll start spaceophone interference.
Then he won't be able to call for help.
No, neither will we. It'll be a battle just between us and Baccarati. On through the endless reaches of space, Buzz and Happy trail Prince Baccarati, whose ship appears in their viewscope as a tiny dotted flame surrounded by a shapeless blur, the effect of the radar port. Finally, both ships are far beyond the orbit of Pluto. Then, as they near the outer defense perimeter of Planet X, Buzz increases acceleration. In his small cruiser, Baccarati smiles triumphantly at Dr. Malengro.
We're safe now. Even if any space patrol ships knew we were here, they wouldn't dare attack this close to my own defenses.
Again, Your Highness. You have outwitted Commander Corey.
I'm going to contact Murdoch at the castle. See if Mine Area 5 has been flooded out.
There hasn't been time yet, Your Highness. It will take several hours for the floodwaters to reach the mines.
Well, that won't hurt to let them know I'm keeping tab on them. Confound it. interference? I know it's interference, but what could be causing it?
Those general frequencies, they must be very close.
The view scope. Look. The ship is closing in on us. Malengo, why haven't you been watching?
I thought we were clear, Your Highness. You yourself said
it's a space patrol ship. Commander Corey. And we can't call for help from my defenses because of this blasted jamming signal. Probably been on our trail ever since we blasted off from Jupiter's fourth moon. Well, if he wants to fight, he'll get it.
The ship isn't too heavily armed, Your Highness.
Oh, one lucky shot might do it. Take the controls, Malengo. I'll mend this tape.
We're awfully close, sir, and I don't think he's seen us yet. He may just be waiting till we get close enough to fire at us. So that little ship couldn't have much armament, sir. Uh-oh. Fire a space torpedo close to his port side, Hap. Let him know we mean business, too. Yes, sir. Nice going, Hap. That came close enough to scrape the radar foil off his hull. I'll cut our interference down to 20 units. We can talk to him without Planet X picking us up. Yes, sir. Now, I'll set you. Baccarati, this is Commander Corey. Surrender, or our next torpedo will blast your rocket assembly.
It's Baccarati, Planet X emergency.
They won't hear you, Baccarati. This is a private conversation between you and me. Do you surrender, or do you want Cadet Happy to demonstrate his skill at space gunnery?
All right, Corey. You win.
Now listen, Baccarati. I'm going to join airlocks with your ship, and I'm coming aboard. Don't try anything.
All right, Commander.
Okay, Happy, you take the controls. I'll board Baccarati's ship. A few moments later, the Terra 5 joins airlocks to Baccarati's cruiser. While Happy remains at the controls, Buzz enters Baccarati's ship with his ray gun ready for action. All right, Baccarati. Just leave the controls as we are. Stand there beside Malengo with your hands up.
Very well, Commander. I'll surrender gracefully. Take me to Terra.
I've got news for you, Baccarati. We're going on to Planet X in your ship.
I don't understand.
I heard you ordered a glacier melted to flood the mine. I'm going to see that you stop that mass murder. And the only way I can be sure is to take you to Planet X.
But if they see your ship, my men may destroy us all.
I'm notifying Pluto Space Patrol to pick up Terra 5 and take it to Pluto. Our interference is deemed only toward Planet X, so your cutthroats won't hear a word. Within a few moments, the Terra 5 is headed back toward Pluto on automatic pilot to be intercepted by Space Patrol ships. Meantime, Baccarati's cruiser, with Buzz and Happy aboard, proceeds toward Planet X. All right, Baccarati. I think it's time you reported to Murdoch at your castle. And get this straight. You'll regret it if you attempt to warn them, understand? Yes, sir. Get a report on the heat reflectors near Mine Area 5. Then tell Murdoch you're heading for the polar cap to watch the fun. Got that?
I'll tell him I'm not landing at the castle first. But I'm going to the polar ice cap.
That's right. Now, I'll turn on your spacerphone and watch what you say.
Prince Baccarati to Murdoch at Black Falcon's castle, Planet X. Prince Baccarati to Planet X.
Murdoch to His Highness, Prince Baccarati. We tried to reach you before, but there was some interference.
Yes, I noticed it. Did you follow my orders regarding Mine Area 5?
The letter, Your Highness. The heat reflectors were started by remote control. Of course, it will be several hours yet before the flood water reaches the mine.
I understand. Murdoch, when I enter the atmosphere of Planet X, I'll proceed at once to the ice cap. I want to inspect the results. That's all, Murdoch.
From a dozen control towers on the enormous Planet X, viewscope beams probe out into space and feel with electronic fingers the contour of Baccarati's ship. Electronic ears listen critically to the identification frequency radiated from the small cruiser, and then let the ship proceed unchallenged. The watchdogs have recognized their master's voice, and having done their duty, watch and listen for remote ships and sounds that may approach over the infinite horizon of space. Then, within the atmosphere of Planet X, Buzz Corey heads Baccarati's ship for the northern polar regions. Visible in the dim light are the atomic heat reflectors and the surging, steaming waters that roar down from the glacier into the valley toward Mine Area 5.
Smoke and rockets, Commander. It's a regular flood.
Yes, unless it stops, 10,000 people will meet a horrible death.
Well, can't you order Baccarati to tell Murdoch to cut off the heat reflectors?
I could, but it would be out of character for Baccarati to commit an act of mercy.
I see what you mean. Murdoch might get suspicious.
Alert the whole planet that the big boss might be in trouble. We'll blast those towers out of operation, Hap. Stand by to fire the space cannon.
Standing by, sir. Corey, listen. Those towers can be replaced. I've millions of credits invested.
Quiet, Baccarati. I'm thinking of 10,000 lives that can't be replaced.
But they're subhuman natives of Penitex, most of them. Almost savages.
Yeah, look who's talking about savages. The worst of them is worth 100 of you, Baccarati.
Fire! Well, that did it, Hap. We got all of them with one shot.
Yeah, but, Commander, the water's still pouring down off the glacier.
It will for a while, but with that intense cold down there, it'll freeze back into ice before it reaches the mine.
Hey, quit looking so sour, Baccarati. You ought to be grateful. We just saved you from destroying 10,000 people.
They won't obey me. If they're men enough not to obey you, I'd say they're well worth saving. And that's just what you're going to do, Baccarati. You're going to free them and return them to their homes and families. Get on that spaceophone and order all your ships here at once. An action preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure in just a moment. Now, here it is, Space Patrollers. The one word that can win you a giant rocket clubhouse and $1,500. And that word is a name for Planet X, the terrifying new planet Commander Corey is investigating. A name for Planet X, home of the evil Prince Baccarati, arch enemy of the Space Patrol. Now, gang, here's how to enter the Name the Planet contest. And Space Patrollers, in this contest, everyone can get a free prize right away. Just go to the nearest Weatherbird shoe dealer. Maybe Mom or Dad can go with you. The Weatherbird shoe man will give you your free prize, a handsome interplanetary coin album with 3 swell space coins inside. And along with the album, your Name the Planet contest entry blank. You can also find out how to enter by looking on the back of a package of Good Hot Ralston. That's the new package with a picture of Commander Corey or Cadet Happy on the front. So, blast off, Space Patrollers. Get your free coin album entry blank and enter the Space Patrol Name the Planet contest today at your Weatherbird shoe dealers. And now, a preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure. Buzz and Happy are in the frozen polar region of Planet X. Pursuing Prince Baccarati into the shaft of an Anjuria mine, they're unaware of a huge figure lurking behind a shoulder of rock. Baccarati and the Ranger are in here, all right. I hear them down the shaft.
Shall I use my atomo lights?
Not yet, Happy. Move as quietly as you can.
This shaft doesn't have any side passages.
Happy, what's the matter?
Something's got me. It's lifting me off the ground.
It's a giant native.
Crushing my chest.
I'll give him a blast with my ray gun.
Oh, you big fuzzy gorilla.
Finish them off, Granu. Finish them.
Be sure to join us again next week for the thrilling story on the ice cap of Planet X, when Wheat Checks, Rice Checks, and Good Hot Ralston again present Space Patrol. Space Patrol, created by Mike Moser, starring Ed Kemmer as Commander Corey and Lynn Osborne as Cadet Happy, was written by Lou Houston. Produced and directed by Larry Robertson. Executive producer Mike Debris. Other players were Bela Kovach, Norman Jolly, Ken Mayer, and Virginia Hewitt. Dick Tufeld speaking. Now, don't forget to tune in next Saturday and every Saturday when Wheat Checks, Rice Checks, and Good Hot Ralston again present Space Patrol. Here's the story of the fastest plane of its kind in the world, with a word from the man who test flies it, Joe Lynch. It's the Air Force F-86D Sabre Jet Interceptor, designed by North American Aviation, Los Angeles. The Sabre holds the world's speed record at 715.7 miles per hour. Wingspan is 37 feet, length 41, cruising range 500 miles, timing speed 300 miles per hour. Now, by special tape recording, made at International Airport, the well-known test pilot of the Sabre, Joe Lynch.
The D is a one-man interceptor, so when you fly it, you're really on your own. That's why I see to it that I'm in good condition all the time. And one way to stay in good condition is by eating a good breakfast cereal, like Rice Checks or Wheat Checks. They're just packed full of energy, and they taste swell. I think you'll like them, too.
No other cereal, puff, or flake contains so much nourishment in such concentrated bite-sized form. Rice Checks, Wheat Checks. Be sure to see another exciting Space Patrol program on your local ABC television station. Consult your local paper for time and channel. This program is broadcast to our armed forces overseas through the worldwide facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service. Space Patrol came to you transcribed from Hollywood. This is ABC Radio Network.